the home of champions. 1987, it was the battle for #1, and Miami and Penn State dueled to the final 9 seconds before the Nittany Lions became the national champions. 1988, it was 4th and goal, and Florida State quarterback Danny McManus threw for the winning touchdown as Florida State defeated Nebraska and captured the #2 ranking in the country. 1989, the battle of the undefeated, Notre Dame and West Virginia, and the combination of Tony Rice and Rocket Ismail led the Fighting Irish to their 8th national championship. Today, the tradition continues as head coach Tom Osborne and the 6th-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers, featuring high-scoring quarterback Jerry Godowski, who has personally accounted for 32 touchdowns, takes on Bobby Bowden and the 5th-ranked Florida State Seminoles and their high-flying quarterback Peter Tom Willis and sure-handed receiver Terry Anthony. This is the first rematch in Fiesta Bowl history as NBC Sports presents Championship Monday. And now it's Nebraska against Florida State. Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to the sun-kissed Fiesta Bowl. The weather conditions are ideal. 67 degrees, just a bit of a breeze. It is sunny, and it is going to remain sunny the rest of the day. And here come the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And now here comes the Seminoles of Florida State. Everybody, I'm Charlie Jones along with Merlin Olsen, and the quality of these two teams, I believe that if we had a collegiate playoff system, these two teams could well be in the finals.
Charlie, I don't argue with you. In fact, neither of these teams has received the respect that they deserve on the season. Colorado knocked off this Nebraska team by 6 points in a game that Nebraska really could easily have won. If they win that game, they are wearing the #1 ranking at this point. For Florida State, they missed their first 2 ball games. They did not play well. They were rebuilding at that time. 9 wins in a row, Charlie, including back-to-back wins over Auburn and Miami. You saw what Auburn did to Ohio State.
And interesting, 2 unheralded quarterbacks.
Charlie, opportunity is so important. These 2 young men had to wait until they were seniors to get a chance to start. They took advantage of it when they got that opportunity. They have managed to rewrite the record books for both schools. These coaches wish they could get these young men back.
2 unheralded quarterbacks, a contrasted teams, a running team and a passing team. And now let's go down to Jimmy Cefalo.
Charlie, despite the perfect weather conditions, the field is not in very good shape. I'm standing at about the 25-yard line. As you can see, it's just dirt that has been painted green. There's been a lot of activity on this field over the past couple of months, and the turf has not fared very well. It is particularly bad in the middle of the field. It is just sprayed green because of cosmetic purposes. It could because of problem a little bit later in the game because of footing. Now, that's the story from the sideline, Charlie. I've been reporting all afternoon long. Right now, let's go back up to the booth.
So Nebraska will be receiving. The Florida State Seminoles will be kicking off. The head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, there he is, Tom Osborne.
Winningest active head coach in the nation. I'll tell you, he'll get your attention in a hurry.
And Bobby Bowden, the head coach of Florida State.
Look at the bowl record of Bobby Bowden. And Charlie, to make that even more impressive, they are 6-0-1 in their last 7 bowl appearances.
And we're also watching 2 of the finest collegiate programs in the country.
We certainly are. They get at it in a different way. Nebraska wanting to run the football and throw the play-action passes. For Florida State, they'll put the ball in the air all afternoon.
And it will be Bill Mason, number 43 for the Seminoles, who will be kicking off. And the deep backs On the return, number 23 is Leotis Flowers. Number 33 is Tyrone Hughes. And we're underway. And taking it at the 17 is Flowers. And he almost breaks it. He returns to the 31-yard line. And Nebraska's offense, number 14, the quarterback, Jerry Godowski, an excellent decision maker. The running backs, Carpenter and Clark. They're both complete backs. They can run, catch, and block. Receivers, they are all outstanding blockers. Morgan Gregory would be the favorite target when they throw the ball. 43. Clark has a couple of yards on the play. The offensive line for Nebraska, very intelligent, both on the field and in the classroom, led by 2 All-Americans, the center, Jake Young, and the right tackle, Doug Glazer. Kickers, Greg Barrios and Chris Drennan. Between the 2 kickers, they have hit 10 of 13 field goals, and extra points, they're perfect, 64 of 64. They mark it at the 32. It is 2nd and 9. Cornhuskers now with 2 tight ends. Clark again to the 35. Let's look at that defense of Florida State. The defensive line, this is the most talented area. Eric Hayes and Odell Higgins can dominate an offense. The linebackers, a group of overachievers. They'll hustle and they'll hit you. Today, their injuries may cut into their effectiveness. The secondary, this is the most inexperienced group on defense, but they play with great pride. Leroy Butler even surprised his coaches by becoming an All-American. Third down. 1 yard for Godowski to the 36. And it is Kurt Carruthers who cuts him down.
A highly emotional opening series for this Seminole defense. They took on the strength of this Nebraska offense, and they've shut down the first drive. Florida State will get the football.
So Mike Stiggy will be punting, and the return man is Terrell Buckley. There's pressure up the middle. No, it's a Ruski. He throws it. It's complete. It's down the sideline and out of bounds. There's a flag down. Hold it. There's a flag down. Back at the 20-yard line. 41 yards if it stands. Who would have thought a Ruski from Nebraska this early in the ball game?
Well, Bobby Bowden, who's famous for this kind of play,
got a personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, be additional 15 yards added on.
Attack of 15-yard, roughing the passer call against the Seminoles, so the Seminoles explode. Watched it roughing right there at the end of that play.
And notice the form of Stiggy. He was a quarterback in high school. And he throws it rather well.
Here's the roughing call right here. You can't, right in the chops.
You can't go that high. That's Corey and Freeman, and that costs 15. Added to the end of the play, the ball at the 23-yard line of Florida State. First down, now the penalty takes it to the 12, splitting the distance.
Well, let's throw out that conservative label that's been tacked on to the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They opened with some real excitement.
And you know, when we talked to him, he says, well, I have one. Bobby Bowden has a lot of them. I have one. Well, we've seen his one already.
He may have another up his
sleeve. I think he does. First down at the 12. Godowski keeps, and he's going to go to the 7. Henry Ostazuski makes the tackle.
Charlie, amazing how quickly the emotion shifts when you can run that kind of play. It looked like Florida State was going to get their hands on the football. Their defense had come on the field, had done a fine job. Nebraska turns that emotion right around, quiets the Florida State fans who are here en masse, and now they have a chance to close it off with a touchdown. Might be able to get a first down inside the 1-yard line.
2nd down and 6. The ball just outside the 7, opening drive of the game. The defense is there and makes the play. Godowski spinning, and again it was Henry Ostaszewski who led that defensive line.
The timing of that play was off. It looked like center Jake Young may have snapped the ball a little too early. No one else was moving on time. Watch it. Everyone else is kind of sitting, and Jake Young has the tendency to try and guess the count a little bit, get that snap up a little early. In that situation, he got it up too early, and the timing on the play was destroyed.
Didn't come up clean. Godowski had to fumble just a little bit before he got control of it. 3rd down. The ball at the 9. Godowski's in trouble. Now he throws, and it is caught for a touchdown. Morgan Gregory. Morgan Gregory, whose dad was a co-captain of the Huskers in 1967.
Father is here, and I'm sure is celebrating right at this moment. Gregory, the man that Godowski looks for in a situation like that, with time to throw, found him alone in the end zone and got him away from Dedrick Dodge.
And Barrios to attempt the point after. The left-footed kicker puts it through.
Play action pass right here. A little fake. Now watch Godowski scramble, gets away from a tackler there, takes the time that is necessary. Dedrick Dodge is there, but he's too late. Touchdown.
7:19, time remaining, 1st quarter, scoring drive, 69 yards, 7 plays, 3:41, and a running team throws for their opening score. And Drennan kicks off. At the 6-yard line, it is Shannon Baker on the return. Here's a return, Ruski on the kickoff. Going back across the lateral to Dawsey. And Dawsey is out to the 40 and then out of bounds. And Chris Drennan, the man who kicked off, made the tackle. Unbelievable.
You had one for me, I got one for you. And Bobby Bowden answers Dr. Tom Osborne's assault with his own Ruski. And very quickly has excellent field position. Let's go back to that touchdown very quickly. Morgan Gregory right here working against Dedrick Dodge, but we'll see it better if we get up close. So let's go down and pick up the action. There they are. Whoa, we better go back to that. The action is live.
We come back live. And popping out the right side, interestingly enough, opening with the running attack is Dexter Carter of the Florida State Seminoles. You expect him to throw more than run. Let's go back to the touchdown. We had a little technical problem. Here we go.
Very quickly, watch Morgan Gregory now stretching the man to the outside, and he'll break back inside right here. Twists back to the inside and gets away from his man. Enough time to throw it, and that was the key. That's Harold McCorvey, not Dedrick Dodge. We better make that correction right there.
2nd and 3, the pass incomplete. Throwing to Terry Anthony. Now we'll go back to the lineup now. The Florida State offense. Quarterback Peter Tom Willis played better than even his coaches expected. He continues to improve. The running back, Bennett and Carter. Now, they may take a backseat to the passing game, but watch them or they can destroy you. The receivers excellent. As a group, these are the best receivers in the country and the key to the Seminoles' offensive success.
Along with that great throwing by that quarterback, P.T. Willis.
3rd and 3, and the pass is complete near side. Ronald Lewis. And Lewis will pick up the first down. The offensive line, they've been playing as good as any offensive line in the country, and they have been tested against the top collegiate defenses in the nation. And their kickers, a good 1-2 punch. Richie Andrews is the short man, and Bill Mason is the long man.
We talked about the contrast of these two teams, Charlie. Florida State wants to throw the football, but in order to have an effective passing game, you've got to show the defense that you can run the football. So we'll see some running, but it's usually finesse style running.
Knocked away. Outstanding defense defensive play by Tahan Lewis. Ron Lewis, no relation, the intended receiver. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Peter Tom Willis has a live arm, but he telegraphed this pass. Tahan Lewis, an excellent jump. And boy, I tell you, if he comes in and takes that football, the score is 14-0, not 7-0.
2nd and 10 at the 39. Pass is complete, right side. Reggie Johnson, the tight end, just keeps plowing, and he has the first down. Picks up 14 yards before Tyrone Bird from Chandler, Arizona, the freshman, makes the stop.
Reggie Johnson, an outstanding athlete, 4.61 speed, an outstanding blocker. He just runs right over Tyrone Bird and gets himself a first down. That's a big play. There's Bird right at the end of that play. Tahan Lewis, the man that hit him first, he was left with footprints on his chest.
At the 25, first down. The little jitterbug steps of Dexter Carter, and there was nothing there as he is stopped by Ray Valado. Defensive line, a group of overachievers who are hard to knock down. They're really playing well. The linebackers, the most talented part of the defense, all good athletes. Their strength is at the outside marks. Secondary, the most inexperienced part of the defense, their first year together, and with Reggie Cooper nursing an injury, they will be tested today. At the 19-yard line is Edgar Bennett. Pat Tyrants, the leading tackler for the Huskers, makes the stop.
One of the best battles of the day going on inside. All-American Michael Tanks at center, number 68. Working on the little big man, number 74, Mike Murray. And Murray getting a piece of the ball carrier there. Not enough to bring him down. We'll have 3rd and 5.
Through the hands of Dexter Carter. It'll be 4th down and 5.
Carter had solo coverage from Mike Kroll on that play and had beaten Kroll to the inside on that quick circle pattern. Watch him. He'll come for the right side of your screen. Good timing pattern, but just out of the reach of Dexter Carter. He would have picked up the first down.
Bill Mason with a field goal attempt, and it is called down. Hit it all and just squirts, stays low, and rolls off to the right.
Let's see if we can see what happened. Footing is not good. Didn't look like he had problems with his footing on that play. Cephalo had talked about that part of it.
8:52 time remaining. First quarter, Nebraska leads 7-0.
Fat, you might appreciate the pain right now for this kicker as he just kicks a whole bunch of dirt. Bill Mason hitting that one fat, and it just pushed off to the side, nowhere near the goalpost.
And Nebraska has the ball at their own 20, leading 7-0. Their second opportunity on offense. And Clark is in motion. Richard Bell fell out of bounds at the 22. Leroy Butler makes the stop. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Excellent pursuit inside out by Odell Hagens, number 53, the nose tackle. You'll see him come into your picture, left-hand side. They're trying to stretch it out here with the wingback Bell coming on the run. There's Hagens, 53, and there's Butler up to knock his man out of bounds. Butler, who plays the boundary corner, an excellent tackler. Here's that pursuit inside out. That's an All-American nose tackle. Number 53 was a linebacker early in his career, Charlie.
Tyrone Hughes is in as a wide receiver. And jumping to the outside is Ken Clark. Has about 6 yards on the play. Leroy Butler was there. Let's go down to Jimmy Cephalo. Jimmy?
Number 28, Cedric Dodge.
Hold it. Jimmy's not quite ready yet. We're going to check out an injury now. Remember the play you just saw. Keep that in mind. They run a Ruski off of that, similar to a flea flicker. So we're going to see all kinds of excitement today. Nebraska leading 7-0. 8.5 minutes left to go, first quarter. Here's Clark to the 35. To Florida State's 43 and then some.
Is there a fumble on that play? Yes.
At the end of the play, Florida State has it.
When we talked to Tom Osborne about this game, he said one of the things that really worries me is that we've been off for a couple of weeks. We can't afford to turn the football over. We had trouble early in the year with turnovers. We've been good late in the year, but that's exactly what happens here. Big run. He gets outside as Clark just manages to pick up about 20 yards. Watch the end of the play. Dedrick dodged there. The ball knocked out on the backside by Errol McCorvey, number 26, and it's McCorvey who's there to pick it up.
And here comes Dexter Carter. 35 yards, the man who has become the darling of the Sun-Kissed Fiesta Bowl.
Boy, you talk about a jitterbug back. Very good blocking up front, and Carter, who has great speed and good acceleration, just manages to take the best of that. Ball down to the 28-yard line.
5'9", 172-pound senior. First down at the Husker 28. Fake. And the pass is complete outside. A great fake to Carter. The defense converged on him. Meanwhile, Peter Tom Willis threw 16 yards to Lawrence Dawsey.
Great faking inside. Little extra time as Dawsey worked on Bruce Pickens, the best coverage man in that secondary for Nebraska. But Dawsey, one of the fabulous four. One of those fabulous four, Lassane down. Here's the end of that play. Watch him turning back, and this ball thrown perfectly. Peter Tom Willis, a very accurate quarterback. He really puts that ball on target.
Dexter Carter moving inside, diving to the 3.
This game has an amazing pulse all of its own.
Tackle by number 26, Marvin Sanders.
Interesting man. When we talked to him, we did a little interview with him at the kickoff luncheon. The kickoff luncheon before 4,500 guests. We did a little interview, and then he turned and interviewed his teammate, Leroy Butler, and he was excellent.
He took the microphone, Charlie. I didn't think he was going to give it back. I hope he doesn't want my job. He is that cool and that enjoyable.
I think he wants both of our jobs.
They have them. Right now, he wants a touchdown.
Edgar Bennett, the first back through, is stopped by Randall Jobman.
On the tackle, number 49.
Attacking in the center of the line behind Tanks, the All-American center. Yeoman's in there, and Hayward Haynes. And the fullback, who is a powerful runner in his own right, gets a load on, but that's good play inside. Linebackers both there for Nebraska. Shut him down.
Third down and 1 at the 3. Now Nebraska leads 7-0. Seminoles driving for the tie. It's not there. They'll lose a yard.
Bobby Bowden with an interesting choice to make. Caliendo.
Chris Caliendo from Brookfield, Wisconsin, makes the tackle.
Let's watch that play inside. Caliendo's from Wisconsin. He said, I'm one of those cheeseheads and proud of it. He is right there to put the clamps on along with number 49.
Fourth down and 2 at the 4. Interesting choice for the Seminoles. They'll go for it. It's not there. Paul Moore stopped by Kit Wells and company. We're going to have a measurement.
Charlie McBride's defense, a big play inside. Randall Jobman, they call him the Cowboy. He was one of the men at the bottom of that stack. A late surge by the ball carrier, who was hit well behind the line, gets him down close, and Bowden says, hey, let's measure that. No.
And the Huskers take over on down.
You could slip a piece of paper in there. You could slip a piece of paper in there.
And the defense led this time by Kent Wells from Lincoln. We've got a timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
Keith Carter, the starting linebacker for Florida State, was just taken from the field. He sprained his right ankle. They tried to tape it up. He was injured about 2 series ago, but it's very sore, very tender, and he just told me he's not sure whether or not he'll be able to come back into the contest. Charlie?
All right, thank you, Jimmy.
Carter, one of the strongest of those linebackers. He's the physical linebacker of those 2 inside linebackers. Carruthers, the flying or moving linebacker. And number 40 is in there in his place, David Stallworth.
A double tight end set from their own 3-yard line, leading 7-0. And as you would expect, Ken Clark, second leading receiver in Nebraska history. He carries Eric Hayes and Odell Higgins make the tackle.
This is how you would feel if you were lined up right behind Ken Clark. Maybe you can take this handoff. Clark going right at that Florida State defense. Lots and lots of bodies there. Good defensive play.
And gives you an example of the quickness, the reaction time of a great running back. He is looking for daylight. He is looking for that hole. Second down. Changing the strength of the offense. A fake of the option. And Godowski key. And he will go to the 12. Maybe a yard shy of the first down. Stallworth is there along with Dodge.
Charlie, they run a lot of the veer plays. You can get a chance to watch the little man in motion here. When he comes across, he'll change the strength of that formation out of the eye. Very quickly across, the ball is snapped. No chance for the defense to respond. Here's the option. And Godowski elects to keep the ball inside. He is a slippery runner.
In that situation, the defense has to react on the fly, and that could be dangerous.
It really is. Nebraska forces you to make choices all day long.
Third down and 1. Cut off outside. And Clark comes back inside. He'll pick up the first down as he will go to the 15. Kirk Carruthers with the tackle.
Carruthers is the leading tackler with 145 tacklers on the year. Right there, number 45. He is extremely quick. Flies to the outside, and right there to be in on the tackle. It's no wonder he's the leader.
How much does he weigh? Well, we asked him, look at that 208. He says, I can't quite make 200. The coaches say we don't weigh him unless he has full gear on.
Well, we'll call him Kirky Suzu if he lies like that. They weigh him with his shoulder pads on. Maybe he gets to 200 then.
First down, and there are 4 wide receivers. There's a flag down.
Dead ball. Illegal delay. Offense.
Jimmy Harper, the referee, the complete refereeing crew out of the Southeastern Conference. You can almost tell that from the accent of Jimmy.
A very pleasant accent, I might add. Osborne, one of the coaches who believes in sending his plays in with messengers. We ask if that ever got him delayed, and of course, when you're having to run all the way down the end of the field, that will slow you down a little bit.
First and 15. Ryan Carpenter is going to pick up a couple of yards on the play. And watch one thing that the Huskers do. Ostaszewski with the tackle is everybody carries out the fakes. Soon as there's a handoff, everybody continues with their fakes, constantly setting up other options. They will run a tremendous number of different sets of different formations and get you a lot of different looks. And our camera crew is doing an outstanding job starting this decade.
Well, when you open up with all of those Ruskies, they know they've got to have their they got to have those lenses screwed down tight.
We all stay loose. Pass is complete to touchdown scoring Morgan Gregory. A scramble for the ball.
They're going to say, I think, no. They're going to say the ball was down, that he was on the ground. You heard that collision.
Yes.
Boy, did you ever. And that's the kind of contact this Florida State defense really rocking. The thing that makes Nebraska's passing game so difficult, they make everything look like a run. And then suddenly they stop and that ball is in the air. The defense, you've got a man coming at you. You don't know whether he's a blocker or a receiver. There was the shot. That ball
was loose.
That ball is fumbled.
There is not a replay in college ball.
And it's unfortunate in that situation. They deserve to have that ball.
Yes.
Great hit by the Florida State defense.
There are no replay reviews in college, as we stated. Nebraska now, they take a timeout. The score is Nebraska 7, Florida State nothing. 1:57 time remaining, first quarter.
A primetime showdown. The Federal Express Orange Bowl pits the #1 Colorado Buffaloes against Lou Holtz and the Fighting Irish of #4 Notre Dame in a game that will determine the national championship. The Federal Express Orange Bowl tonight on NBC.
Quiet, everybody, and listen to the hit of Dedrick Dodge.
Oh, wow.
We're serious. This is a serious bowl game.
This is really serious business, and that ball knocked free from the hands of Morgan Gregory, but the official, feeling that the play was dead, awarded the ball back to Nebraska. It's third and about 1.5 yards to go.
Here's Clark, and he's got the first down. He will go to the 27-yard line, and it is Dodge who makes the tackle. NBC's championship Monday continues tonight right after our ball game with a primetime showdown at the Orange Bowl. #1 Colorado against #4 Notre Dame, and they'll be battling to determine the national championship. Plus, of course, the famed Orange Bowl halftime spectacular. That's tonight following the conclusion of our game right here on NBC. Nebraska leading 7-0, just over 1.5 minutes to go, first quarter. And here is the flea flicker pass, and it's intercepted, picked off on the tip. Kevin Grant has the interception for Florida State.
Tremendous play by Florida State's defense. Another trick play. Watch Gadowski. He'll throw it up, and then he'll take it back on a handoff. A hand-back pass. Another trick play, but that ball off the hands of the receiver, and great reactions by Grant as he heads upfield. Here is the hand-back part of it. Now watch him. He'll hand off to the tailback, Clark, and then he'll take the football back. Well, I tell you, they put in specially for this game.
And only the third time this year Gadowski has been intercepted. And Edgar Bennett is stopped by Kent Wells.
Faking again on the pass. Ball goes to Wells, but that defense was not fooled for Nebraska. Only 2 interceptions, Charlie, by Gadowski all season. And that one bounced off the receiver's hands. Look at that by Tom Osborne. The thing I worry most about is getting our team back to its peak performance level. Well, they have started today. I'll tell you, they have started hot today.
And Reggie Cooper is in the ball game on defense. He goes after Carter. He makes the tackle. Cooper, the 2-time All-America, second-team All-America, bothered by that knee injury. We did not think he was going to play, and he does it here.
Well, he said, if I can go, I will. And this is too big a game for him to miss. He's the best of that defensive backfield. He's certainly one that all the pros have their eye on, Charlie. We saw the quote by Tom Osborne, and we asked Bobby Bowden. He said, amen.
Amen. That's right.
He agreed. The toughest thing, getting your team back, getting them up to speed. They started hot today.
I think both teams are up to speed, though. Play action fake. Wobbly pass out of bounds. It's incomplete. And with that play, the first quarter excitement at the Sunkist Fiesta Bowl comes to a close. The score is Nebraska 7 and Florida State nothing.
That's me, Christina Ferrari, after I had my baby. Since then, I lost 25 pounds in 3 months with the Ultra Slim Fast plan. It was easy. Ultra Slim Fast is really delicious and satisfying. I'd have a thick chocolate shake for breakfast, another for lunch, then a great dinner. I love Ultra Slim Fast. It gave me back my figure, and I feel great. Now the only baby fat in this family is on the baby.
Ultra Slim Fast. Give us a week. We'll take off the weight.
Come fly the friendly skies.
You know the sinking feeling of a tip.
Seminole of Florida State. Double good luck. 39-yard field goal attempt by Richie Andrews to open the second quarter. Bill Mason missed. Richie Andrews misses. So the Seminoles with 2 field goal attempts thus far in the ball game, and they've yet to pick up a point. Nebraska leads it 7-0. 3 possessions have resulted in 2 missed field goals and a loss of downs at the Nebraska 3.
Watch this kick. Again, the ball kicked very low and shanking off to the left-hand side. Andrews knew the minute he hit it that it was not going to be good.
And Nebraska takes over at their own 23. Tom Punt is in that offensive line. Eric Wiegert is in the offensive line, and Leotis Flowers is in the backfield. And a flag is down.
Number 29, Brian Carpenter, flag on the play.
Carpenter, the ball carrier.
When you weigh less, Charlie, than 200 pounds, you've got to expect to get banged around in there a little bit. Wiegert coming in there. Number 29, Carpenter coming in to block. And number 45, Kirk Carruthers, bounces around like a top inside. I'd say he is tough, though. You gotta like him. You've got to like him.
Holding penalty called on Nebraska. And the ball goes back to the 13.
Father was a coach at Michigan State University, but he liked what he saw when Florida State came to play at Michigan State. Came down with his mom to do a recruiting trip, was going to go on to Miami, stopped to Tallahassee, said, this is where I'm going to stay, right here.
In fact, Michigan State coach George Perlis was in his parents' wedding. Here's the draw. Leotis Flowers near the 30-yard line. Leroy Butler with the tackle.
Looking into the eyes of a linebacker. I didn't see what he wanted him to see. He was a little late getting there. Leotis Flowers, a real flyer. They call him Mookie.
Mookie?
Moved him out. They call him Mookie.
Well, he mooked for 17 yards on that play.
He got a fast 17 on that play.
And it's 2nd down and 3. Defensively, John Weich is in the ball game. Oliver Strickland is in. David Stallworth and Howard Dinkins have all checked into the defense. And Flowers will pick up the first down.
Tackle by number 45, Kirk Carruthers, and number 89,
14-17, time remaining in the first half. Nebraska leading Florida State by a score of 7-0. They put together an opening drive of 69 yards in 7 plays, which included a long gaining punt Ruski. Pressure from the backside, fumble. Florida State has it. Higgins jarred it loose. Higgins recovered it. John Weich is the man blitzing who jarred it loose.
Blitz from the backside. John Weich, number 44, a man who had his leg crushed 2 years ago. They didn't think he'd ever play. In fact, they call him Crusher. Chance to a boom from the backside. You can see why they call him Crusher after a play like that.
And Florida State has the ball when we come back in a moment.
John Weich right here times it perfectly. Staggers up and then shoots inside. Two men. Here's a fake here. This man will miss the block. And you watch it as the quarterback, Godowski, turns his back, goes right past Flowers and nails him and strips the ball away. And there's Higgins on the spot to recover the fumble, the third turnover. You remember what Osborne said. Tom Osborne very concerned about the turnovers. That's 3 of them so far in this ball game.
And Florida State has the ball at the 31. Deep right side, pass is complete to Lawrence Dawsey. 17 yards, and the Noles continue to strike so quickly through the air.
Lawrence Dawsey, one of the members of that Fab Four, working on Pickens again. Number 38 turns him to the inside. Pass a little bit late being thrown, but plenty good to pick up the first down.
The ball at the 14-yard line. This is the 4th time that Florida State has attacked the goal line of the Cornhuskers. Missed 2 field goals and then turned away at the 4-yard line. Drilled over the middle, touchdown.
One of the points that Bobby Bowden made to us, and we talked to him yesterday, Charlie, he said, we will throw the slant. And there it is.
14 yards to Terry Anthony, the man with Biletnikoff hands.
He certainly had them there, and that pass perfectly thrown. A little dance to accentuate the touchdown.
And now Richie Andrews for the tie. He's got it.
You want to know how to throw a slant pass? Watch Peter Tom. He'll show you.
We're tied at 7.
It's brought to you by the Sunkist family of products, where you can be sure of the highest quality every time. You have our word on it. By Mitsubishi, bringing you a full line of award-winning automobiles. See them all at your Mitsubishi Motors dealer. And by Budweiser, the king of beers. Remember, know when to say when.
Championship Monday continues. The 19th Sunkist Fiesta Bowl, Sun Devil Stadium, Tempe, Arizona, tied 7-7. Nebraska and Florida State. Bill Mason will kick off. Hughes and Flowers are the return men. And here is Tyrone Hughes. To the 30, the 40. On the return, and Bill Mason, the man who kicked off, saves the touchdown.
The Big 8 punt return champion shows you that he can return kickoffs as well. A flyer's speed. Tyrone Hughes explodes to the outside, has excellent field position for the Huskers.
The freshman out of New Orleans, Louisiana.
Louisiana Offensive Player of the Year back in '87, Charlie. He showed you why.
And a penalty tagged to the end of the play.
Late hit out of bounds.
And the ball goes to the 15-yard line on the personal foul. James Chaney is now the nose guard for the Noles. Ryan Ken Carpenter, the ball carrier. Let's go back to the touchdown, Merlin.
Terry Anthony right here, going to be working on Bruce Pickens, takes him inside, and a little while ago went outside. This time just slants across the middle. It's a timing pattern, simply the slant as you watch the play develop, down and driving inside, perfectly thrown. There is no way to stop that pass, Charlie.
2nd down and 9. Flowers stays in as the I-back. We have jumping and whistle sounding. And the penalty at the end of that kickoff return.
When you've got a man out of bounds, you got to turn loose of him, Charlie. They've got Hughes out of bounds here.
Dead ball, false start, offensive team, movement in the backfield.
Watch Hughes, he's out of bounds. Turn him loose. And there's the second hit on him right there. Number 27, Terrell Buckley, unloaded. He was in the white stripe. You got to leave him alone when he's left the field.
Now we're looking down. Ken Clark, the I-back, is on the bench at about the 45-yard line, but he's just sitting there, maybe just taking a breather right now.
Tom
2nd down and 14.
Believes in resting his players. He's got a lot of them. In fact, over 100 suited up for today. We'll see a lot of them on the field today.
Excellent defensive play. The ball is bobbled and it goes out as Florida State had completely saturated the backfield of Nebraska.
Godowski, a cool customer, wanted the toss to the outside. You notice he has a defensive man between him and this toss man, but he had his back to him. Godowski waits until the last possible second. That was number 45. That's the linebacker, Carruthers, who was kind of shielding the pitch man right there. Godowski waited, got it outside, but the ball batted away and a big loss on the play.
A moment ago, it's 1st and 10 at the 15. It's now 3rd and 17 at the 22. Incomplete. The receiver, Morgan Gregory, trying to run the defender off and then come back right at the goal line on a timing pattern, and the ball got there just a step too soon.
Well, he had Terrell Buckley beaten. You watch him. He'll run Buckley, number 27, into the end zone, fake to the inside right here, and then break outside. But that's a timing pattern, and the ball had already been thrown a little too soon. They'll try the field goal.
Chris Drennan from 39 yards out. And it is good from 39 yards away. And Nebraska moves back in front by a score of 10-7. And Nebraska will kick off to either Dexter Carter, number 13, or Lawrence Dawsey, number 29. 12:15, time remaining in the first half. Nebraska leads by 3, 10-7. Picked up by Dawsey to the 20. And he'll return to the 25-yard line. Championship Monday continues at halftime with scores and highlights, and we'll be going to the Orange Bowl. Notre Dame and Colorado will have team reports, Bob Costas and Bobby Beathard, and a special feature, the legacy of Sal Anesi. So be sure and stay with us at halftime, and we'll bring you up to date on everything that's going on in Miami. We've got a lot still going on here, and another great ball game to follow.
A highly emotional story of Sal Anesi and the inspiration he has given his Colorado teammates during this season.
Peter Tom Willis with the fake, and the pass is complete to Carter. And out of bounds at the 48-yard line of Nebraska, 27 yards on the play.
Bobby Bowden's team, much different than the Nebraska team. They live off the big plays. They look for the big plays, the turnovers, the explosions on offense. And there's a man who can explode. Some of the quickest feet we have seen in a long time.
Peter Tom Willis, 6'3", 202 pounds, a senior. This is his first year as a starter. He is 6 of 10 for 98 yards and a touchdown. And he is sacked. Mike Murray got him. Number 74, the little big man.
Get a kick out of talking to Mike Murray. He got into this program at Nebraska by sending a 2-page letter telling him why he wanted to come. They said, come and walk on. There he is, 74, middle of your picture. That's an All-American center, Michael Tanks, that he's throwing around to get inside. He spots about 20 pounds to Tanks. He doesn't care. He just blows by and gets himself a piece of that sack.
2nd down and 18, the ball at the 44. Peter Tom Willis goes deep right side. Anthony wanted pass interference. A flag was not dropped. Bruce Pickens had the coverage.
I think if that ball had been catchable, we might have seen a flag, Charlie. The end of that play, working on Pickens again. And I'm surprised. Pickens is an excellent coverage man. They have picked on him repeatedly today. They won't call that. That's incidental. But I think that ball might have been caught if he hadn't been tripped. Or hadn't tripped, I should say.
Because he was as much responsible for the tripping as the defensive man. And it's 3rd down and 18 at the 44. Peter Tom Willis. Pass is complete. Ronald Lewis. And it is ever so close to the 1st down. He needed 18. And he got just about it. Tyrone Leggett and Marvin Sanders, the 2 men there for the Cornhuskers.
Ronald Lewis breaking to the outside, and the ball is there waiting for him. You can feel that one coming at you. And Lewis able to get a little bit extra, but they're wrapped around his legs. Tyrone Leggett making the attack. Look at the helmet, the tomahawks, Charlie. He set a new record. Sammy Smith had 38. Those are for big plays. But this year, Peter Tom has picked up 44 tomahawks. However, there's not room on the helmet for 44. There are only 41 on the helmet if you're counting.
Does he have one? Put it on his shoe and on his
He
belt?
may have to put a few on his shoe. A great season for this senior. He had a chance to redshirt. He said no. He said he wanted to play. He has really turned in a performance. It'll be a little short.
4th down and short, just outside the 38.
Bowden continues to gamble as he has all day long. Hey, we came here to win. Let's go for it.
Double tight end. Ronald Lewis is wide to the right. Fake! Going deep into double coverage. Incomplete.
Bobby can't believe that he didn't get a call down there for interference on that play. Excellent faking.
But what a fake over the top. Now remember, this is short yardage. 4th down, what about a foot? Pickens, Bird, Lewis, they were all the Leggett. Everybody was dropping back.
They really weren't fooled on that play. They've been well schooled. Charlie McBride, the defensive coach, reminding them, there's the great fake, and there's Carter up over the top.
And Nebraska takes over on downs at their 39-yard line. And here's a double reverse. Clark back in the ball game, and he loses his footing on that dust, dirty part of the field, and Howard Deakins was there to cover him. Let's go back to the previous play.
We'll look at the play. It's particularly the end of the play we want to see to why Bowden was so upset. You see the great faking again. Streaking downfield. Ronald Lewis.
Oh, no, I think that was excellent defensive coverage. Excellent defensive
Charlie,
coverage.
I don't think that ball was catchable. That was great camera work. Thanks, guys. Good picture. Good picture.
It'll be 3rd down. Let's go down to Jimmy Cepolo.
Charlie, Keith Carter, number 59, the linebacker from Florida State I mentioned, came back onto the field. It was x-rayed. His ankle was. It's not broken, but he's wearing one of these air casts. It fits around the ankle. They inflate it. He's been running back and forth along the sideline. He's going to give it a try to go on the field. We'll see how he does. We'll keep up on his progress. Charlie?
Thank you, Jimmy. He now has come back into the ball game. And it's 3rd and 10 at the 39. Nebraska leading by 3. Pass is complete to Bell. First down. John White's with the tackle.
Senior from Altadena, California, 4.5 speed. Bell shows you a little of it. Did not have the first down when he caught that football. Watch him. He'll come from the right-hand side of your screen. He'll catch the football, and it's the run at the end. He's short here. Breaks inside, gets around 2 tacklers, takes on 2 more, and squeezes out the first down. 14 yards on the reception.
To the 47-yard line. Ken Clark still on his feet. Going out of bounds at the 36-yard line.
What a great fake by Ken Clark on Howard Dinkins, number 89. Fake to the outside and jumped back inside, left Dinkins hanging, able to pick up that excellent yardage.
And a first down at the 36-yard line.
Watch the fake. Number 32. Quick move inside, going back across, right there. You see him as he jumped back inside. Very, very quick lateral movements by Clark.
Clark, he's going to get a couple of yards to the 34. Carruthers was there along with Henry Ostaszewski. Something that I noticed, and something that we will notice, the offensive center, Jake Young, the All-America center for Nebraska, he snaps the ball about a half count, and if you watch him down the line, he gets a start on everybody.
Well, Charlie, every good center anticipates the count a little bit, and Jake Young, no, he's not only good center, he's a great center, 2-time All-American.
Watch him see how he has the first move.
Screen,
right side. Carpenter is out of bounds. Eric Hayes for the defense.
Let's see if we can pick up that early snap, Charlie. The other thing that Young will do, he's a real crab blocker. Now watch the movement on the line. Snap early, everyone else a half a count late. And there's the development of the screen pass. They let everyone go through, get to the outside. That's Carruthers. Great play on the outside as he made the tackle.
You can notice it a little bit more on a running play because he fires out and then everybody else fires out behind him. 3rd and 6.
Batted down.
Odell Hagens celebrates.
Hagens, we talk about Jake Young, the All-American center. That's an All-American matchup there. An All-American center against an All-American nose tackle. A real battle. And Hagens reaching up and slapping that ball down at the last possible second.
That's a great move that you've talked about. Going up, timing yourself, and getting the hands in the air.
Good reaction. He'll get a tomahawk for that one, Charlie.
And speaking of tomahawks, the Seminoles call a timeout, as Chris Drennan will be coming back with a field goal attempt, but right now we'll be going away. Nebraska leads by 3. Shot from high above Tempe, Arizona, from the MetLife blimp, and piloting the blimp today, guess who? The world famous World War I flying a Snoopy. Wait a minute. Snoopy? He can do everything.
Well, if you were snooping around here, you might have seen some trick plays being written up on those sleeves by Coach Osborne and Coach Bowden. We have had, can you top this here in the first half?
A 49-yard field goal attempt by Chris Drennan. Has the distance, and it is no good. And he misses off to the right side. So Nebraska retains the lead. They're out in front by a score of 10-7. I'm Charlie Jones along with Merlin Olsen. And one of the things that we're seeing here, and I don't think that we can overemphasize this too much, two great teams, but also two great athletic/scholarship programs.
They really are, Charlie, and a couple of schools that have shown not only that they can put great athletes on the field, but that they keep their promises to their athletes. And I happen to have a young son at home, and have enjoyed taking him out to meet Coach Osborne and Coach Bowden, and they were very impressive. Talking to him afterwards, he said, wow, those people are special.
And Peter Tom Willis comes out throwing to Lawrence Dawsey, and very quickly Florida State picks up 20 yards, and they're in Nebraska territory. Mike Kroll and Marvin Sanders. And look at this for the Cornhuskers. 40 academic All-Americans, 67 first-team All-Americans.
You know what I like, Charlie? In their press guide, they gave the academic All-Americans not only equal space, but equal footing with those regular All-Americans, first-team All-Americans.
And also, you were an academic All-American at Utah State.
I was, Charlie, fortunate enough to be one. Mike Kroll, great athlete, in fact a sprint champion in high school. Hard to believe that a man that size, he's grown big for a sprint champion. 6'3", 225, great athlete on the outside. He looks to be all right. We'll see him back in the game.
At what age was he a sprint champion?
High school, 100-yard dash. Yeah.
Well, he beefed up, didn't he? Look at that, 6'3", 225.
Sudbury, Mass. Well, there he is.
A big man can. I got to tell you something. Carl Lewis is a big man. You talk to him, you put on a little weight, he make a nice linebacker. If Carl's watching, he'll deny that.
Peter Tom Willis. Well, we told you that Florida State would put it in the air. They haven't disappointed us.
And the first down at the Nebraska 49. Peter Tom Willis going deep. Single coverage. Baker has it at the 6.
Whoa. When Bruce Lesane got hurt, one of that Fab Four, they reached down for a freshman. He's the fastest of their receivers. Shannon Baker, 5'10", 180 pounds, streaking. But watch this. Peter Tom Willis with a lineman draped around his neck. A linebacker, actually. That's number 42, Jeff Mills. Ball hanging for a long time. Great concentration on the catch.
As you look at Peter Tom, mark this down for Shannon Baker, the freshman. This is only his 4th reception of the year. Actually, the first of this year, 4th of the season. First and goal at the 5. Outside, it's complete. Touchdown. Reggie Johnson. State takes the lead for the first time in the game.
A celebration right in front of the Florida State fans, and a lot of the band is over there. Well, Coach Tom Osborne saying, what are we going to do to respond here? Talking to Gdowski, his quarterback. Right now, Florida State looking to make a successful kick. They missed a couple today here.
Andrews has the point after. Florida State 14, Nebraska 10, 6:55 to go, first half. Merlin?
Chance to watch that play as Johnson just breaks free very quickly outside. And when you've got a quarterback with a live arm, a good quick arm, you can get it out there very quickly. Peter Tom looking inside and then outside immediately. That ball is in the air. Tight end, just watch him in action here, streaking out here to the outside, and he finds a very open space to work in.
And as you watch, mark this down. Peter Tom Willis has completed 7 of his last 8 for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns, including this one. And Bill Mason will be kicking off to either Tyrone Hughes or Leotis Flowers. Hughes on the far side, Flowers on the near side.
A pooch kick. It's going to be hanging high in the sun.
And here is Flowers. Struggling through to the 32. And And be sure to stay with us at halftime. We'll have all the scores and highlights as Championship Monday continues. A look at Notre Dame and Colorado and the legacy of Sal Anusi. Bob Costas and Bobby Beathard will be reporting from the Orange Bowl. Right, that'll be halftime. And then, of course, after our ball game here at the Fiesta Bowl, we'll be going to the Orange Bowl. Oh, what a great day of football on NBC. Nice way to start the decade.
Boy, it certainly is. And what an explosive afternoon of football here.
Nebraska from their own 31, trailing now by 4. And the pass outside is complete to Gregory. And he will pick up the first down. He's going to go out about the 43. He'll pick up 12 yards, and he is hit by Terrell Buckley.
Talking to Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator for this Florida State team, he said the thing that makes Nebraska's scheme so tough when they throw the football is that they make it all look like a run. And when we have to go against that, he said it's hard to decide, are they going to run it or are they going to throw it? And Godowski very quick at making those decisions and getting that ball in the air.
Play action fake. And the option is dropped. And then recovered by Ken Clark. Keith Carter was right there for Florida State.
When we talked to Mickey Andrews the other day about this fine Nebraska team, he said, hey, we can't stop Nebraska. Nobody has. We've got to try and control them and make some big plays. And by big plays, he means turnovers. And they have gotten them here today. And a lot of that because of the kind of hitting, the emotional big play defense being played by Florida State. But both teams have been getting their share of big plays.
Now there's a big play group.
Big play group. Yes, they are. 2nd
and 16 at the 37.
Godowski likes a timeout here. Didn't like what he saw.
So that stops the clock. 5:56 time remaining in the second quarter. It's Florida State 14 and Nebraska 10. In an absolutely gorgeous afternoon at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. The turnovers, always a major story.
Charlie, let's look at those numbers. Giveaways. Now, in particular, the numbers for the Cornhuskers important. They've only had 3 interceptions on the entire year. Of course, they're not that much of a passing team, although they got a lot of touchdowns out of their passing game. But look at the plus 14 on each side. Very, very important positive numbers. The Seminoles, that 39 takeaways, 5th in the nation. So they've done a good job on that all year long. And of course, turnovers today have really had an impact on this game, and that is not a number that is going to please Coach Tom Osborne.
Harold McCorvey with a fumble recovery, Odell Higgins with a fumble recovery, and Kevin Grant with an interception. Only the 3rd time that Jerry Godowski of Nebraska has been intercepted this season. 2nd down and 16. The ball at the 37-yard line. And another reminder, we'll be going at halftime to the Orange Bowl and also after the ball game. We'll be in Miami this evening on NBC, so stay with us on Championship Monday. 5 in the secondary, looking for Godowski to throw. Rolls left. Tough to roll left and throw right. He does, and he's avoiding the loss. They could call that grounding if they so desire.
They got it, Charlie.
Yep.
They got it. Mickey Andrews over there saying, come on, you've got to call intentional grounding. The rule very explicit. If you throw it to avoid the sack, they're going to get you.
Odell Higgins and Kevin Grant were there for the defense.
Intentional grounding. Offensive team. Loss of down.
That is costly.
Yes.
What's the finish of this play? Godowski, of course, a good runner, averaged almost 8 yards a carry. He's not afraid to carry it outside, but that's a good job of stringing it out. Grant, number 47, right in his face. No question, no receiver there. He's dumped with the football to avoid the sack.
And so many times we talk about how difficult it is for a right-hander going left to stop and throw, and that gave you a good example.
Godowski, a quarterback who really needs to set his feet before he can throw effectively.
So it is 3rd down. Remember, it was 2nd and 16 at the 37. We're now back at the 19-yard line. And Nebraska now takes another timeout. But better to take it here. rather than make a mistake. They cannot afford to make another one, or Florida State will come up with excellent field position. We'll be back in a moment. Third down. At least 34 yards to go. And the swarming Florida State defense has completely disrupted the offense of Nebraska.
Just trying to get the quick popper inside to Brian Carpenter, number 29. Good job. Higgins inside again. Boy, he has made some big plays today. Take a peek now. They're trying to dive up inside, and Higgins meets Carpenter in the backfield. You don't think he has strong hands? Often underrated. Just grabbed him with one hand and put him down.
Mike Stiggy with his first punt. He was in punt formation earlier. Fair catch is called for and taken by Buckley. But when he was in punt formation on the opening drive, they had a punt Ruski that he ended up throwing a long completion. Merlin?
Tom Osborne talked to us earlier about turnovers.
I think consistency. Bowl games are always so difficult because we have a 6-week layoff and they have a 4-week layoff, and it's so hard to return to your timing. And you know, we played the last 5 games, so I think 3 turnovers in the last 5 games total, and really we're executing very well. And I just hope that we can approximate that in the bowl game. But with the layoff, it's often hard to know what you're going to do.
3 turnovers in 5 games. They've equaled that in the first half here today, Charlie.
And Florida State comes out throwing one low.
Ooh. Mike Kroll, injured a few moments ago, back on the field, makes his presence felt. Nice play.
A gain of 9 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 1. And this is just the woof.
You notice he had a hold of his shoulder pads, Charlie. You don't want to grab the helmet to do that, but it's legal to do that if you got the pads.
Oh, you could call that bulldogging. You wouldn't be too far away.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Second down. Looping timing pass far side to Ronald Lewis, hoping that he could run past Bruce Pickens and then turn back and pick it off, and it's incomplete.
You can't really be successful with a passing offense unless you have time to throw the football. And up front, Michael Tanks, Hayward Haynes, Tony Yeomans at guard, and John Brown and Robert Stevenson have given Peter Tom that kind of time through this year. And that's one of the things that Coach Bowden talked about. He said, I am really proud of this offensive line, the way they've been able to come and round into form and help us in that important part of the game.
Dexter Carter, and he picks up the first down.
Dexter Carter talking to him about, he loves to talk to his mom before the game and after the ball game. He's getting up a little slow here. His mother's going to worry about that. But the thing they said to me, I said, what does your mom say to you? She said, well, she reminds me always to say my prayers before I go out there. And of course, he is not the biggest football player in the world. Got to be a little concerned about your health.
And he is all right. You know, you always talk to him about his size. I mean, it's a natural thing to do. And he said, nothing I can do about it. I said, but when I played Pop Warner ball when I was 7 years old, I said, I was always the smallest, but I was the fastest.
He may still be the quickest on this field.
Apley has replaced him into the end zone. There is some tripping, and it is incomplete. Some inadvertent tripping. Ronald Lewis, the intended receiver. Kenny Walker was putting the pressure on. Tyrone Bird had the coverage. We've got a flag down.
I think a holding call against that Florida State line is Kenny Walker, who has a hearing problem. Since he was 2 years old, a high fever took his hearing away from him.
Number 57 for Nebraska.
He reads lips in the huddle, and then he'll get a signal from his nose tackle if he has to change
on the line of scrimmage, holding, offensive team, first down.
Holding on the offensive team. Now let's go back to Kenny Walker. Now, he is a pass rushing specialist. That's really what he does best. Can he, being deaf, can he play in the pros?
I don't think that there's any reason why he can't, Charlie. In fact, as a specialist, he's going to have an opportunity. You notice him looking inside, checking to make sure if there's a special call on, or if they change the defense, he'll get a signal inside. Very quick upfield.
Great reception.
You can see why they love Kenny Walker, though. Mike Petco is there, but Walker stripping from the outside. Let's watch that pass rushing specialist as the flag's down again. I think it's another holding call. But let's go back and watch that rush by Walker. Give the official a chance to make his call first.
On the line of scrimmage, holding, offensive team.
Kenny Walker, 57. Stevenson right there. He doesn't have a chance. Walker with that little swim move.
Nice swim move.
Well, I tell you, was he on top of Peter Tom in a hurry? Holding call goes against them twice in a row. They're going the wrong direction, Charlie.
And it'll be 1st and 30, so the completion of Dave Robert is wiped out. Just over 3 minutes to go in the first half. Here's the draw to Carter. He's got rolled. Another flag is down, though. Carter is down at around the 35-yard line. But we may have the 3rd holding call in a row back at the 40.
And I think it's going to be called against Nick Economou, who is working on Kenny Walker again. Economou, who was expected to start in this game. And Bobby Bowden is furious. We didn't have to, we could see that up here.
Yeah.
On the line of scrimmage, holding, offensive team, 10-yard penalty.
3 holding calls in a row.
1st and 40.
Kenny Walker right here working on Economou right there. Those are the pair that are going to be involved. Economou locks up, and what's the end of the play? Throws him down and dives on top of him. That flag thrown right on Economou's back.
1st and 40. Peter Tom, sideline pass. They're saying yes.
Great catch. Great catch on the sideline. Anthony again. Does he use his feet and hands well? Watch him stretch, make the catch, and still keep that foot, in fact, both feet, in bounds.
It's interesting. Let's look at that again. It almost looks as if his knee hits out before his foot does.
Well, I think he's got his toes on the ground.
He does, right there.
there.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And again, not reviewable. This is college ball.
A little toe dancing there.
Yeah. 2nd and 32. Here's the draw. The stutter step by Dexter Carter. To the Nebraska 48-yard line. He has 9, so it'll be 3rd down and about 23. I don't like it when they pile up on him, but he tells me he can handle it. That's Dexter's mom.
Dexter's mom will be watching from Baxley, Georgia today, and Dexter talked to her before the game, and I'm sure we'll call her afterwards. Her boy Dexter's having a pretty good day, Charlie.
And he's a fun young man to be around, too.
I think that's what I like most about the bowl game, is having a chance to meet these great young athletes. We got a bunch up here today.
3rd and 22 officially, and number 22 catches it. That's Edgar Bennett. Now remember, it was 1st and 40 only a moment ago.
We've got an injured Florida State player down on the field. It's number 70, John Brown. Right there in the middle of your screen, working on Walker, but great play to the outside. Bennett breaking clear on his own, getting away from Kroll, number 88, and Peter Tom Willis again with an extremely accurate throw.
And watch number 70 right at the right of the screen. That's Tony Yeomans, the guard, and he ends up being injured on the play and being assisted from the field right now.
I said 50, and it was 70, Charlie.
No.
You're right.
Tony Yeomans. Looks as if he's all right. We've got a timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
Winningest programs the last 3 seasons. Look at those numbers. Florida State, just a short hop, and of course they were the ones who knocked Miami off this year. Knocked them out of it. The last 2 years, Miami had defeated Florida State, the only blemish on the record. And Nebraska, of course, 31-5, number 2 and number 3 during the last 3 seasons. Real quality football.
At Notre Dame, a record of 31-5, and they'll be meeting Colorado later today in the Orange Bowl. And at halftime, we'll be going to Bob Costas and Bobby Beathard at the Orange Bowl. They'll have team reports of Notre Dame and Colorado, and a tribute to Salanusi, the quarterback from Colorado, who passed away last year. Hall of Fame, final, Auburn. Oh, big over Ohio State. Final, Tennessee. My Razorbacks came out 4 short to Tennessee. I don't think they've ever beaten Tennessee, as a matter of fact. They got to stop scheduling them. And in the Citrus Bowl, it was Illinois by 10 over Virginia. I thought the Razorbacks would beat Tennessee. I really did.
Auburn, by the way, again, Charlie, one of those teams that Florida State beat in that great 9-game winning streak. Back-to-back wins against them and against Miami.
And divisional playoffs next Saturday. Merlin and I will be in Cleveland for the Buffalo-Cleveland game, and then next Sunday it'll be Pittsburgh at Denver, and Dick Enberg and Bill Walsh will be there at Mile High Stadium. And we'll have it all with Bob Costas and NFL Live in and around Cleveland and Denver.
Can't have any more excitement than we've had here today.
Championship Monday. The dancing feet of Dexter Carter.
Nowhere to go on that one.
Reggie Cooper making the tackle.
Charlie, let's hand out a couple of bouquets here as Bobby Bowden's team and Peter Tom Willis able to overcome 3 successive holding calls to pick up a 1st and 10. Now, there aren't many college teams that can do that, I want to tell you.
It was 1st and 40 at the other 35.
Bobby Bowden, an interesting man, loves to study the history of wars, and his 2 heroes, Patton and Rommel. Audacity, he says. Audacity is the word.
You notice he picked one on each side, so he was sure of a winner. Swing pass right side to Carter, and he is upended at the 10. Bruce Pickens makes the stop. And the clock continues moving.
We talked to Wayne McDuffie, the offensive coordinator for this Florida State team, and we asked him why Peter Tom didn't get a chance earlier in his career. He said, well, we had great quarterbacks, but frankly, I didn't think he would ever have a chance to play at Florida State. He has, believe me.
And what has he done? 14 of 20 already, 240 yards in the first half, and 2 touchdowns, and 3 touchdowns.
Bobby Bowden on the sideline, he's checking it off. He said that one worked, and certainly it did. The passing game, and it was the passing game that beat Nebraska in that earlier Fiesta Bowl, and it's the passing game here in the first half that has cooked them today.
It is good, and it's Florida State 21. Nebraska 10 in a drive that started. Now remember, the drive started at the Florida State 49. It went all the way back to their 35. Then they restarted it.
Let's look at that touchdown pass. Get an idea again of the great passing ability of Peter Tom Willis. And a little look at one of the Fab Four right here. No, that's not the Fab Four. That's Dexter. Well, he fits in with the Fab Four. We'll give him a Fab 5.
Willis overcame 3 third-down situations and a 1st and 40 in that drive. Woo.
Look at it from high above. Dexter Carter lined up on the outside, a wide receiving position. That's something he can do extremely well. Just hides in there momentarily, breaks to the outside, room for the touchdown.
And we have 24 seconds remaining in the first half.
Mother Gloria saying, yeah.
Yeah,
like that.
Yes, I like that. Here's Flowers on the return, and he is down at the 25. And Bobby Bowden's quote, Peter Tom has exceeded all of my expectations. He's making plays we haven't even practiced.
Well, I think they've practiced some today, but they've shown us a few new ones. Right now, very important for Nebraska to get back into sync. Charlie, I think one of the things that hurts Nebraska in a bowl game, they are such a team-oriented defense. Their scheme requires everyone to be up to speed, and it's difficult to get everyone back after a break and get them back to full speed.
Nebraska from their own 25. Here's Ken Clark. He almost breaks it. He's out to the 40-yard line. He's got 15 yards. Buckley and Butler make the tackle, and we stop the clock with 11 seconds left to go in the first half.
Ken Clark, the #2 rusher all time at Nebraska.
Not a timeout. Stop the clock for the moving of the chains. Now at the 40, and the clock is restarted. Gregory has it. 30, 25. They're out of time. Morgan Gregory just a step away. He picks up 37 yards. It's halftime at the Sunkist Fiesta Bowl. Now let's go down to Jimmy Cefalo. Jimmy?
All right, Coach Bowden. Coach Bowden, we had a great shot of you in that final offensive drive. You were awfully upset. What was the problem?
I forgot. Oh, hell, 3 straight times. I'm mad at somebody. I don't know who I'm mad at yet. I'll find out in a half.
All right, what adjustments you make at halftime?
Big thing is quit getting penalties and score on our goal line. We went down there 4 times, got in there 1 time early in the game. Other than that, we'd been in pretty good shape.
All right, best of luck in the second half. Thanks, Coach. Charlie?
The score at halftime is Florida State 21 and Nebraska 10. It's halftime here. Let's go east and south to the Orange Bowl. And Bob Costas. Bob?
Charlie, we thank you. There you see the scene about 10 minutes or so ago as the Colorado Buffaloes arrive at the Orange Bowl a few hours before kickoff. A game which, if they win it, will give them the national championship. You can forget about all the domino theories and all the complicated scenarios. If the Buffaloes win, Bobby Beathard, they're in. But if Notre Dame wins, then we start looking to the results elsewhere, to the Sugar Bowl for Alabama and Miami, possibly to the Rose Bowl for Michigan and USC. Then almost anything can happen.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the matchup today, the matchups in the bowl games this year are some of the best I've ever seen. In this game tonight, I just have a feeling that the Buffaloes are going to retain their #1 ranking. My daughter Jamie's at school, a senior at Colorado, so I've got to root for Colorado.
Florida State in front in the game you're watching, the Fiesta Bowl, 21-10 at halftime on 3 Peter Tom Willis touchdown passes.
Now, this is a real great matchup of all the games. Nebraska, this is only Nebraska's 2nd tough game this year. The Seminoles have had a half a dozen tough games. They're very evenly matched, but I think the Seminoles have more to stop. Peter Tom Willis, Dexter Carter, and 4 great receivers. I don't think that Nebraska can keep up with them in the second half.
Let's take a look at what's happening elsewhere in the Rose Bowl. Michigan is trailing Southern Cal. The score there 7-0 in favor of USC. They're in the second quarter. The Trojans capitalized on a blocked punt and then took it in on a short touchdown run. So Michigan has to win for Bo Schembechler to finish at 11-1 and then hope for developments elsewhere to be favorable. Then they'd have an outside shot at the national championship. Meanwhile, they got their hands full with USC in the Rose Bowl, a team they beat a year ago, the Trojans leading 7-0. Now, in the Hall of Fame Bowl earlier today on NBC, Auburn got 3 touchdown passes from Reggie Slack, plus a 5-yard scoring run by Slack. He had a hand in all their touchdowns. They prevail over Ohio State, 31-14. Auburn closes the season with 6 consecutive victories. Tennessee, which lost their first 6 games in 1988, then finished by winning their last 5, goes 11-1 this year for Johnny Majors. They win in the Cotton Bowl, withstanding a late rally by Arkansas, 31-26. The highlight really belonged to one man, freshman Chuck Webb, who ran for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Volunteers, including this 78-yard run that appeared to break the game open in the third quarter. Arkansas did rally to make it close, but they finish at 10-2 for Ken Hatfield. Johnny Majors' Volunteers of Tennessee win it 31-26. And earlier today in the Florida Citrus Bowl, Illinois finishes the year at 10-2. They beat the Virginia Cavaliers, who lost 3 times this year with 10 victories. The final is 31-21 as Jeff George of the Illini threw for 3 touchdowns. Now stay with us. We'll talk with Barry Alvarez, the assistant head coach of the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, who has accepted the head coaching position at Wisconsin when we come back. And we'll also have the story of Sal Anesi of the Colorado Buffaloes. That's after this from your local stations.
Coach Osborne, you had a couple of tricks in the first half. You opened it wide up. Do you have any more of those tricks for us in the second half?
We got some more tricks. We just got to quit turning the ball over. You know, when you're down 3 turnovers to Florida State, or maybe lucky it isn't worse, but if we can hang on the ball this half, I think we can get some things done. And we'll find out what we're made of now. They're a good football team.
All right, best of luck to you the second half, Coach. Thank you. Charlie?
Thank you, Jimmy. I think, Merlin, they're both good football teams.
I don't think there's any question about that, Charlie. The important thing, and I think Tom Osborne hit it very quickly, the turnovers. Yep. When you turn the ball over, especially when you're a ball control team, a rushing team, all their success really during the year has come out of the fact that they could establish that run game, and then they can throw the play action pass. They have had big plays in the first half, and some of them have been surprises, a couple of really out of character things, if you will, from Tom Osborne.
But Bobby Bowden told us that he got the name Ruski from Tom Osborne. Osborne.
He certainly did, and that was a number of years ago, and he's added to that name. In fact, we had some of the Ruskies in that first half.
We did.
Let's give you a chance to look at him.
And right
Stiggy,
in the beginning,
the punter, throwing right here, and very first series, an outstanding way to start for Nebraska as they took a situation and turned it around. Now, watch the lateral on the kickoff. Bowden coming right back with a Ruski of his own. Dossie up the field. Good field position. And here, the final Ruski, the handback pass. Unfortunately, this one turned the other way. The ball was intercepted right there by Grant, who took it down the sideline, setting up points for the Florida State Seminoles.
And here's a look at the halftime statistics. First downs even. Nebraska rushing almost 2-1. Florida State passing almost 2-1. The total yards 306 to 232. Turnovers, boy, that's the big number. Big number that jumps out to you. Nebraska has only fumbled 4 times in the last 4 games. They've already fumbled 4 times in the first half.
We heard Tom Osborne say that they had only turned the ball over 3 times in their last 5 games. His concern coming in, ball security. They've had problems here in the first half. They don't need any more.
And Florida State will have the first opportunity in the second half as Chris Drennan will be kicking off to either Dexter Carter or Lawrence Dossie. And that's Dossie at the 7. And he is out to the 20 to about the 23-yard line. Let's recap the scoring in the first half. Gadowski to Gregory, a 9-yard touchdown pass. Nebraska went up 7-0. There was a Ruski involved in the drive. Willis to Anthony, 14 yards. We were then tied in the second quarter at 7-7. Chris Drennan, a 39-yard field goal. Put Nebraska back on top by 3. Willis to Johnson from 5 yards out. And then he does it again to Dexter Carter from 10 yards away. So Peter Tom Willis with 3 touchdown passes in the first half. He wants to set a screen. Oh, and he was in trouble. Dexter Carter was the intended receiver, and he was surrounded by Cornhuskers. Tahan Lewis was putting the pressure on Peter Tom.
Here comes the blitz from the far side. You saw number 5, Tahan Lewis, streaking in. It's a screen pass. The play was destroyed. They had 2 people sitting on the intended receiver, and Willis just threw it away. Peter Tom got up and he said, boy, how did they read that one so well? Were they in our locker room at the half?
There's a leak. There's a leak in the locker room. They know what our first play is. Play action fake, pump fake. He throws it up. It's going to hang, and it's incomplete. Oh, and he was nailed. Woo!
Boy, he is down and flat on his back. He took a great shot on the outside.
Bruce Pickens. Was it Bruce Pickens that got him? Number 38. I believe that's the one.
Blitz. 90. No, it's 88. Mike Kroll, the linebacker, left that game early.
Ooh.
Steamrollered, if you will. The one thing that Bobby Bowden talked about, he said, we cannot afford not to have our quarterback protected. So much of what we do depends on the ability to get time for Peter Tom Willis.
You know something, though? What I like about that hit, it was a hard, tough, fair football hit. It really was. He comes back throwing to Terry Anthony. May have the first down.
He's going to be very close. It's all in the mark, Charlie. I think he's just going to be short by about a half a yard, and it's going to be 3rd down.
No, it'll be short.
Is he marking first down? No,
yeah.
he's.
Well, let's see.
I think they may measure that. No, they're not going to measure. It's first down.
First down.
All
He's got it.
They got better eyes than I have.
Nobody has better eyes than you have. You can read the signs from the other side of the field.
They have that marker off the edge of the field, and I was looking at it as if it was on the edge. You see how far it is?
Yeah.
It changes the angle a little bit for us.
Pressure. Ooh. Almost intercepted. He came back to the right side to Ronald Lewis.
Peter Tom Willis wanted to go left. He wanted to get it out to Terry Anthony. Anthony was covered, came back and flicked it to the right. Watch him. He looks left, and comes back. Threw it into coverage there.
But
no time.
Notice when he came back, he was looking right in the face mask of Jeff Mills, too. That can distract you when you're throwing.
against Florida. They were burned by the blitz. They're going to have to go through some short passes to take the heat off here.
Second down. And Dexter Carter is going to pick up just a couple of yards to the 35. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
One of the interesting things about this Florida State team, so many of these youngsters come from Florida. 54 of them, Charlie. There are 10 from Georgia, 4 from Alabama, and 4 from other states. Includes one player who came down from Philadelphia, but he had lived down in Florida before he came down to play for them. Kind of a homegrown troop.
Mike Petco and Mike Crow on the last tackle.
Screen, no, locked.
Then breaking out in front of the screen. Ronald Lewis set a screen. Everybody looked for a screen, and then Lewis took off. Pickens with the tackle.
This Florida State team just continues to attack. And I said it earlier, Charlie, I think it's easier to get a team ready to play in a bowl that relies on specific skills and big plays than it is a team that is a scheme team that relies on getting everyone up to speed. Great play, great reception. That ball is perfectly thrown and lofted. Watch Peter Tom Willis hang this one up.
Kent Wells with the pressure. Lewis then had single coverage by Pickens, and he got a step on it.
Poise under pressure.
Dexter Carter. 33 yards on the pass play to the 32. Mike Murray with the tackle. And this will go to the 31. It'll be 2nd down.
Charlie McBride, defensive coordinator for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, told me earlier today that he said we really have to shut down their running game. We want to make them one-dimensional if possible. This Florida State team, there's Charlie McBride, a shadow of his former self, has lost about 50 pounds, says he feels great. Well, he doesn't feel so good right now. They need to shut down Florida State's attack.
2nd down. Here's the draw. Amp Lee, the freshman, with some great moves, a fumble and a scramble for the ball at the end.
We've got a holding call against Florida State. Now,
Pat
is
Tyrants
it,
with the tackle.
if it's a fumble and a recovery by Nebraska, the ball will go over. No, they're saying the ball was down.
It was down. And a holding penalty against the Seminole. Tyrants recovered the ball.
This kind of penalty would really put most teams in trouble. We saw Florida State with a 1st and 40. Boy, nice play, Amp Lee.
Holding offensive team.
Holding on the offensive team.
Let's see if we can spot the hold inside. Or 70 Yeomans, perhaps. Really hard to tell, Charlie. Really hard to tell.
Good moves by the freshman, and the ball was popped loose. Again, not reviewable. And it's 2nd down.
2nd down and 20.
About 19. Peter Tom Willis. It's incomplete. Edgar Bennett, the intended receiver. Peter Tom went into the locker room with as much confidence as any college quarterback could have. And now the defense has to shake some of that confidence if they can.
He talks about looking back at his lone start of his junior year, a game he had against South Carolina that, well, their appearance in a bowl game hinged on a win there. You look at his numbers for today. He said it was that day he threw 20 passes, Charlie. He completed 17, threw 2 away, had 1 dropped. He said, whenever I get in trouble, I think back to that and say, hey, I can do it. Well, he certainly has done it.
Play action on 3rd and 19. Into coverage. And it is incomplete. Ronald Lewis, the intended receiver, with Pickens and Bird. Boy, they're getting a workout. We expected them to, and that secondary is being tested.
Well, this passing attack can test you. They threw 6 touchdown passes against Memphis State, 5 of them in 1 quarter.
John Wimberly will be punting, and herein lies his story. Came as a good punter, redshirted because he had a knee injury, not a football injury, reconstructed the knee. They got to find out if he's the man.
If he can't punt, they're going to have to find a new one, but that's a beautiful punt. Whoa, and all almost fumbled.
Tyrone Hughes takes the fair catch at the 6-yard line. We've got a timeout. Florida State leads it 21-10.
Fiesta Bowl is brought to you by the Sunkist family of products, where you can be sure of the highest quality every time. You have our word on it. By United Airlines, we dedicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies. And by Geo. Get to know Geo. Sold and serviced by Chevrolet Geo dealers.
And we talked about the punter, John Wimberly, the reception that he received from his teammates.
Well, he's been through hard times.
He really
broken leg, came in, shanked the ball a number of times, lost his starting job, and they have to find out. They said, we're going to test him today. Well, his first kick, a beauty.
Bobby Bowden went to him a year ago and said, keep the scholarship, son, stay in school, but it's not going to come back. And he's worked so hard.
He has worked very hard. Nice story.
Ken Clark.
For Nebraska, Charlie, it's a very simple process. They got to get back on track right now.
And speaking about getting on track, right after this game, Championship Monday continues as we'll be on track right down to the Orange Bowl. Number 1 Colorado taking on number 4 Notre Dame in the ball game that could decide the national champion.
Colorado breaking a 27-year-old stranglehold. Nebraska and Oklahoma, Big 8 championships.
And the whole state of Colorado enjoyed the Buffalo's success. Here's the option, and cutting back inside the 15 is Jerry Gutowski.
Charlie, when your team has averaged 6.4 yards per rush all year long, you're not used to getting shut down. This defense for Florida State has been tough against this Nebraska offense today.
And it'll be 3rd down and 2 at the 15-yard line. And the Huskers have made big plays. Flag is down. Ken Clark will pick up the first down. He needed a couple, but let's go back to the flag. It's going to be a motion call against Nebraska.
Big Doug Glazier got moving a little too early from his right tackle position. The All-American, I think, was the man charged for being in motion too quickly. Watch him, right-hand side of your screen. There he is. You see big number 70 just popping that arm around. He's got to pull as they're pulling both the guards in that situation and the tackles to try and get him out in front. Bill Bobora along with him, but it was Glazier who got up a little early.
The Seminoles pointed out in the first 3 games, look at that, 85 points. Last 8 games, only 97. The average dropped. It really dropped.
They have carried that performance into today.
Jerry Godowski, Eric Hayes with the tackle. It looks as if he came up a yard shy of the first down.
Godowski averaged 7.9 per rush on the year, 13 touchdowns rushing. Big E, Billy E, they call him. Boy, he is not moving, and he is such an important part. In fact, there are a lot of folks who look at that record defensively, and they say that one of the most important things when Billy E got back into shape, came in heavy, and when he got back into shape, he has been a powerful force. You saw him there on that tackle to the outside. His legs just kind of whipped around. I think he'll be all right, Charlie. He'll be back.
And Mike Stiggy will be kicking to Terrell Buckley. And the Seminoles could have excellent field position.
10 men up.
No, they've got a return on. Fair catch.
Short kick.
44-yard line. Only 28 yards on the kick. Florida State has the ball, and the lead. We'll be back in a moment.
This new Chevrolet Lumina Coupe just helped Chevy do what no other car company has ever done before. Win the NASCAR Manufacturers Championship for the 7th year in a row. Nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America. There's a thin line between being good and being the best. Over the last 3 decades, Chevrolet's crossed it more than anyone. Nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America.
If you feel life's more interesting when you make a splash,
it's the right here now.
If you feel a great beer starts with great water.
It's the right beer now.
Because you're the kind of person who likes to get to the bottom of things. Call for the Silver Bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
Coors Light. It's the right beer now.
Tonight, NBC's Championship Monday concludes with a primetime showdown. The Federal Express Orange Bowl pits the #1 Colorado Buffaloes against Lou Holtz and the Fighting Irish of #4 Notre Dame in a game that will determine the national championship. The Federal Express Orange Bowl, tonight on NBC.
But before we get to the Orange Bowl on NBC, we still have a second half of action here. Merlin, the bowl experience for the players. When you were in college, you played in 3 bowls?
I was lucky, Charlie. It's the gravy after the season. And a lot of young guys who are looking out there and saying, where do I want to go to school? They're looking for a place that goes to bowl games. Nebraska's been 21 years in a row, and under Bobby Bowden, Florida State is a perennial appearance in the bowl on New Year's Day, a lot of them. And they love the fact that they're going to get a little opportunity to travel around and see the country.
And both teams very proud that they're bowl teams. And this is a one-hopper. Now let's go down to Jimmy Cepolo.
Charlie, technology is indeed in force here on the sidelines. Prior to the game and again at halftime, Jack Pierce, a recruiting coordinator for the University of Nebraska, was on the phone calling recruits. The message, turn on the television because you can find out what Nebraska is all about, maybe be part of it next year. It was a great sales pitch.
Oh, that's really interesting.
There are the redshirt freshmen who have come, and they of course waiting for their turn now for a bowl.
Oh, hey, they recognize their own television.
They saw themselves on TV. Hi, Mom.
2nd and 10. Dexter Carter. He's going to lose the yard. Pat Engelbert, the sophomore from Columbus, Nebraska, makes the tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 11. But 3rd and 11 for Florida State is... it's almost nothing. What they had 1st and 40 in the first half.
Not frightening. Not frightening at all.
Good point.
With a quarterback like Peter Tom Willis, so confident in his passing game, good receivers with excellent hands, a good passing scheme, but most importantly, time to throw the football.
And the split backs are Dexter Carter and Amp Lee. And it is to Lee, the freshman. He's not going to make it. A couple of yards shy. Mike Crow makes it. He makes a nice move. He goes out and he came back in.
Now, what do you do here? This is kind of no man's land. You really don't want to punt from here, Charlie. They're going to go for it. And Bowden continues, as he has all day, to gamble in situations where he has a chance. We talked about his love of military history, his respect for Patton and Erwin Rommel, and the fact that he liked their audacity. He said when they were surrounded, they attacked. Well, that's his philosophy. Let's go for it. We came here to win. You know what? I like it.
Rommel, the Desert Fox. Bowden is the Florida Fox. Tipped. Cut. 1st down. Terry Anthony.
Sometimes it just bounces your way. It looked like Kent Wells, number 91, bounced the ball away, but Terry Anthony had it all away. Let's see. Peter Tom flips it. The ball bounces off one of Nebraska's linemen. Well, sometimes you just got to be lucky. Tom Osborne, you got to be kidding me. That's what he was saying right then. It looked like that ball would be intercepted. Most often, it is when it bounces like that.
What a class man Tom Osborne is. 1st down at the 24. Looping pass and a leaping catch. Terry Anthony again. 23 yards.
Charlie, they called Tyrone Bird T-Bird. The number's 8 on 8 as T-Bird came over to try and help on Anthony on this play. But watch Anthony. He goes up. He takes the ball away. Boy, that is some nice receive. What they say, Bolitnikov hands?
Yes.
You better believe it.
And an alley-oop leaping ability. Whoop. It was 19 yards to the 5. It's 1st and goal.
Pickens being picked on again today, and the T-Bird was just a little late.
Dexter Carter. Flag down, 4-yard line. Reggie Cooper with the tackle.
So many holding calls, and there's another one against Florida State. If you were with us at the end of the 1st half, Bobby Bowden angry. He said, I'm not sure who I'm mad at yet. I'm going to find out in the locker room.
Holding offensive line during the run. 10-yard penalty.
See if we can spot it. It might be Mike Morris, number 60, grabbing on. Bobby Bowden's son walking along with
that's Terry.
There, no, we don't have to say might be in this case. That's a lockup. Number 60, Mike Morris. If it wasn't him, they could have thrown it on him.
And a little note on Bobby's son Terry, who's pulling the wire behind him. He's the head coach at Sanford in Birmingham, and one of his other sons, Jeffrey's the offensive coordinator, and his son-in-law, Jack Hines, is the defensive coordinator. Ooh. Pickett's this time with excellent coverage. Anthony, the intended receiver.
Well, you can't go to the well too often. You're going to get yourself burned. That ball hung up again. Watch the end of the play. Pickens with excellent coverage, and he's been right there on most plays today. But Peter Tom Willis so sure of his arm and his receiver that he throws it anyway.
Pickens, though, has to be getting shell-shocked by now.
He has to be. I talked to P.T. Willis about it. I said, you want to play pro ball? He said, I'd love to. I've been dreaming about it since I was a kid. Favorite teams, the Pats and the Denver Broncos. Loves John Elway.
Complete diving into the end zone. No.
I think it looked like a touchdown to me, Charlie.
I think they're going to mark it about a foot short. Jeff Mills, Tyrone Bird.
As he spins toward the end zone, his knee may have touched down.
Mills put the pressure on. Bird makes the stop.
Lawrence Dossey, 4 touchdowns in the regular season. Thought he had another one here. Spins.
Oh, that was close.
Boy, I tell you, I think he had it. Well, it's going to be very close now.
3rd down goal to go. There it is. But the credit goes to Paul Moore. The sophomore from Miami. State goes up 27-10 with the extra point to come.
The danger now, Charlie, you don't want to let a passing team get out too far ahead of you. Nebraska, with a running attack, needs time to get themselves back into the ball game. They better get started pretty quick because Florida State has come out in the second half red hot.
And the extra point is blocked.
Now they can run it back.
It's still alive.
Well, now it's dead.
Difference, of course, in college football. That it's not. The extra point is not over till it's over.
That's right. If you can scoop that up, if Nebraska gets their hands on this block kick and gets it into the other end zone, it's worth 2 points to them.
Paul Brungard, I believe, is the man who got it. We'll be back in a moment.
Saturday. Then Denver. And Pittsburgh. The AFC Divisional Playoffs. This weekend.
We look forward to this weekend of playoffs. Merle and I will be in Cleveland for that ball game. Bill and Dick will be at Mile High Stadium for the one on Sunday.
Bring your long underwear, Charlie.
Oh, yes. Lots of it.
Another high squib kick.
And Flowers on the return. He's to the 40 and returns near the 45-yard line. Let's go back to that blocked extra point.
6'7", 265, a junior, Paul Brumgard. Now watch him as he starts forward. The offensive linemen come up underneath him, actually lift him. He reaches high. Boy, he just swats that one down. But you try to put the big man inside. And Brumgard, using all 6'7" and long arms, you see the length of those arms. That ball kicked a little bit low, but he was way up in the air.
Nebraska now, first down at their own 44. They need to score here. They need a quick drive. A pick-me-up.
Reverse.
Tight end reverse. William Washington, a tight end Ruski.
Well, I think a tight end reverse. Not many people fooled on that play. Washington will come from the right-hand side of your picture, and look how many Seminoles are waiting for him at the pass. Right there, that's Ostazuski, 74, 44. That's John White, a whole army of them.
And for the season, that is Washington's first rush. Second and 14, pressure on a play-action fake. It's complete to Carpenter. And he's going to pick up about 4 or 5. And he is hit by John White. Another, the continuing story on John Weiss, he comes off, he may have hurt the shoulder a little bit, but on the knee after, you know, he had all the broken leg, broken in 7 places, and he worked, and he would go out in the stadium and run at night alone, and the pain was so bad that you could hear him screaming from outside the stadium. A comeback that nobody thought was possible, and yet this young man did it.
They thought he'd never walk without a horrible limp. He's playing football again.
Third down and 10, here's the blitz. Time that Godowski has been sacked. Anthony Moss got him this time.
Moss and Shelton Thompson. And Charlie, this is the problem you have. If all of your passing attack or your base attack is based on your ability to run the football and then run play action, when you're forced to throw the ball in a drop back situation, you're really not comfortable. And you get taken advantage of like that. Great pass rush. Great pass rush.
And Mike Stiggy will be kicking to Terrell Buckley. And the Seminoles set up as if they're going to pressure. They're coming.
It's recovered by Nebraska, I think.
It'll be Florida State's ball. It was 4th down, a block punt.
That's right. There's no possession on the play. Will be allowed because they turned the ball over.
And John Davis is the man who blocked it, number 18.
They had faked the block earlier by jumping people around.
Boy,
they've got a whole host of people open to the inside. There's the play. Scoop boy, scoop that one up. You have a chance to go in.
And that is his 2nd block of the season.
Florida State known for their ability to block punts. Had what, 2 on the year and become a new Charlie? Today, okay, the 2nd.
His 2nd in this season. Touchdown, Florida State. Reggie Johnson, his 2nd, 8 yards away. Peter Tom Willis has thrown for 4. The extra point is good. And Florida State goes up 34-10.
The block punt puts them in great field position. The precision passing of Peter Tom Willis and a very open Reggie Johnson.
The Seminoles lead it 34-10. At dusk as the Valley of the Sun starts another decade. And Bill Mason will be kicking off to either Leotis Flowers or Tyrone Hughes. High and short. And taken by one of the upbacks. And let's go back to the touchdown.
Reggie Johnson right here, just going to sneak through and find a place in the end zone. Peter Tom Willis rolling out to get a little extra time. Will throw it back against the grain. He gets extra time, a little fake inside. Nobody there to contain. And there's the shot to a very open Reggie Johnson.
And the return man, number 35, was Robert Glantz. There's 2 35s. The other one is Scott Kurtz. From the 33, 1st down. And the pass is complete on the far side to Richard Bell. Bill Reagan's with the tackle. Now Nebraska desperately needs to get some offense going.
And number 28, Derek Dodd.
They'll mark it at the 42, a gain of 9. It's going to be 2nd down and 1. But one thing, Merlin, that we can address ourselves to is that Florida State taking over the ball game. The last time that Nebraska scored came with 12 minutes to go in the first half. And if Florida State continues and some other things happen, they have a legitimate claim to being the best collegiate team in the nation. They've really played well. Ken Clark is cut down by Keith Carter.
Charlie, when we talked to Florida State's coaches, they talked about that the fact that their team had come back after those 2 initial losses, had really built off of the early wins, and had peaked about the time they beat Auburn and Miami in back-to-back ball games. Very, very big ball games. You see Bobby Bowden is drawing plays on the sideline. He said, "Hey, we gotta throw something new at him. We'll draw one up here on the sideline."
It's a first down at the 43. And Clark is tripped up.
Let me finish that thought, Charlie. The coaches felt that this team had kind of peaked after Miami and did not get any better, and they were worried that they may have lost some of their momentum. Well, they certainly did not. The chemistry has been good today. The big plays that they had hoped to see have really been there, both offensively and defensively. Right now, Tom Osborne needs to see a couple of big plays.
2nd and 10 at the 43. John Bostic.
He's going to be very, very close to a first down. Maybe 3rd and short, maybe the first down. Let's see.
Leroy Butler makes the hit.
They expected Bostic to be a redshirt this year, but he came on and really has performed well.
And a crowd of 73,953 at the Sunkist Fiesta Bowl on an absolutely gorgeous day in Tempe, Arizona.
Nice shot from the MetLife front.
3rd down, about a foot. There's the first down. And Clark had to spin to hang on to the football.
I think we got a face, Charlie, we got a face mask call in there, though. That's going to move it back. Looked like one of the Florida State players just reached out and grabbed the mask. Might have been Big E, Billy E, Eric Hayes.
Incidental face mask, 5 yards. Defensive team, first down.
So the ball will move down to the 38.
It is Eric Hayes, number 78, coming in from the inside. Watch him as he sneaks back inside. He did not use the mask to tackle a man, but that's all he could get his hands on.
First down, Nebraska.
You're
going deep, double coverage, almost. Morgan Gregory, who has scored the Cornhuskers' only touchdown, the intended receiver, McCorvey, and Dodge had the double coverage.
They wanted the big one here. Monty Kratzenstein had snuck out. He was all alone on the left sideline. Godowski did not see him. Ball just barely overthrown, and Gregory might be hurt. Comes off holding that shoulder.
That's a good pass, though.
It was a good pass. Godowski can throw the football. There's no question about that.
42, 48,
Fumble
on the exchange.
We talked about the early snap.
Another turnover. Florida State has it.
Charlie, I think the early snap just burned him again. I think the center had that ball up too quick. Let's see if we can see it.
Watch 93 Sheldon Thomas, who...
That may be unfair to the center, Jake Young, because that ball just never got into the hands of Godowski. Did not look like it was that early as a snap.
4 turnovers by Nebraska. We'll be back in a moment. 9-2, struggling against Southern Mississippi and Clemson, and then LSU, Tulane, Syracuse, Virginia Tech.
And they continued.
Oh, look at that. Auburn, Miami, South Carolina, Memphis State, and at Florida.
Big, big games. Well, The streak continues today, Charlie. They've shown how tough they are. Good faking Peter Tom Willis.
They want more, and they're going to get it. Ron Lewis with the reception. Another big play by Florida State. Tahan Lewis makes the tackle, 37 yards.
PT's statistics on the day continue to climb. They're going to have to min up a whole bunch of those hatchets. Ball slightly underthrown, but Lewis comes back and picks it right off the back of Tahan Lewis. Watch the end of the play. Great faking.
Watching all the way. Good quarterback, but I got to tell you, Ron Lewis and Terry Anthony are two great wide receivers.
You better believe it.
Dexter Carter. He's got a yard. Mike Murray with the tackle. His numbers, a new Fiesta Bowl record. 393 yards, 4 touchdowns, and we still have 25 seconds to go in the third. Rewriting the record book.
Wayne McDuffie talked about the fact that Peter Tom Willis's performance this year in part due to the work done by Darrell Dickey, the quarterback coach. I think it's a TD.
Yes, it is. Another one. Oh. 24 yards. And Terry Anthony has his second of the game. And Peter Tom Willis has thrown for 5.
Earlier in the year, he had 6 games where he passed for more than 300 yards. He continues the pace here today, setting more records as he finishes out this star-capped senior season.
And the extra point is good.
And let's watch some of that footwork by Peter Tom Willis. That's the thing that Darrell Dickey, the quarterback coach, came in and worked with him on. Getting his feet set so that he could throw the good pass. Right there. Well, not perfect foot action, but look at the pass. Boy, what a great reception. Blendenkoff had set records at Florida State University. They talked about this young man, Terry Anthony, as having Blendenkoff hands. He has shown them many times today.
And you saw the numbers and the stars, the Fiesta Bowl record. Well, he broke Danny McManus's record of Florida State that he set 2 years ago against Nebraska.
Danny is saying, good. I thought he'd leave 1 or 2 of my records intact. Both our quarterbacks today. Godowski has also rewritten the record book, but today has been P.T. Willis's day.
2 seconds left to go in the third. Bill Mason to kick off. Leotis Flowers and Tyrone Hughes are the deep backs. High and short again. And it's taken by Chris Garrett, the tight end, as the third quarter comes to a close. Florida State 41, Nebraska 10. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Bobby Bowden in the last 7 bowl games, 6-0-1. And that's just, you know, we talked about the fact that his son Terry is on the wire behind him, and he has another son, Tommy, who is assistant coach at Alabama. He's the Sugar Bowl, and his son Steve was just appointed the vice president of Flagler College in St. Augustine. He says, Steve, we overlook him because he's not in football. I said, but now we're going to talk to him because he hires and fires coaches. He's at that level. Leroy Butler. Butler to the 16-yard line. There's a flag down at the 36. Carpenter with the tackle. 39 yards on the return. We'll check out the flag.
And we've got a second flag down at the end of the play, too, so a pair of flags to deal with. Great play by Leroy Butler. The officials will be talking that one over. Charlie, we talked about the rebuilding that was going on. Leroy Butler was a free safety. He and Dedrick Dodge, they moved him over to corner. They really didn't expect him to have a great year. He surprised everyone. He became an All-American at that corner position. Deion Sanders had been over there, an All-American, a first-round draft pick. Well, Butler has cut his own swat.
The offensive team is declined. It'll be first down for the team that intercepted after a 15-yard penalty, 1st and 25.
So it's a post-interception foul. There'll be a foul at the end of the play. Holding will be declined. Great anticipation. Good block. Oh, on the backside. Wham, that one hurt.
And the Butler did it with the interception. That is his 8th of the season. I stole that line from Dexter Carter. I've got to tell you that. You know that. And also, you can't tell because the helmet, of course, but Leroy Butler has L's in, cut into his hair, and he says it's for the ladies love Leroy.
Well, a lot of folks are going to love Leroy after today. They're marking off the 15-yard penalty. Now, this was assessed after the first down was achieved, so it's going to be 1st and 25. Someone got a little rambunctious down there for Florida State toward the end of that play.
And the ball spotted at the Nebraska 37-yard line, just outside. They'll mark it to 38. Florida State leading 41-10. Double reverse. Well defense. Lawrence Dawsey ran into the Huskers, Mike Petco and Mike Murray.
You got to believe, Charlie, that there are a lot of folks down there saying, hey, we can fall for that stuff occasionally. But we know how to play this game, too. Charlie McBride's defense, Tom Osborne's team have had a great season. They will be unhappy to finish it this way. They're a proud team, Charlie. They really are.
2nd and 28 at the 41. Peter Thomas flag is down. He's got it. Shannon Baker with the reception, but there was a marker back at the 46.
Holding call against Florida State again.
Holding or face mask?
Didn't see the signal. Was it face mask?
All right, here's the call from Jimmy Harper.
On the line of scrimmage, offensive face mask, 15 yards.
Let's go down to Jimmy Cephalo.
Charlie, there's a bit of an incentive for the Florida State players in a lot of ways here today. Yesterday, their strength coach, Dave Van Hallinger, suffered a heart attack. He's fine. He's resting comfortably in a hospital here in the Phoenix area. The coaches in the booth that are standing right above you taped a small cross to the window just to tell Dave that they're thinking about him. They hope he does well. And that bit of incentive has probably helped spark on this Florida State team.
Well, our prayers are with him, and so are ours, and I'm sure that the performance today of this team will help, too.
Dexter Carter. And he is stopped by John Reese. Just under 13.5 minutes to go in this, the 19th Sunkist Fiesta Bowl.
This offensive line again clearing a massive hole inside. Mike Morris, number 60. Dexter Carter getting there in a hurry.
To pick up the first down, Florida State must go to the 13-yard line. Ball is loose, and Nebraska has it.
All right, Charlie, I think they're going to say his arm had started forward. Peter Tom Willis's arm started forward. They're going to call it an incomplete pass.
Jeff Mills was there along with Kent Wells.
Watch the action of the arm. The quarterback will start his arm forward. It's hit as it moves forward right there.
I'm not so sure. Not reviewable. I'm not so sure. I think the ball was knocked away clean.
Charlie,
He
but I
just
think
started back.
there's a difference in college football. If the arm is moving forward, they will give the benefit to the quarterback. But I would agree with you that he may have knocked it out before it was even a pass motion.
And John Wimberly is second punt, and everybody is coming. He gets a good one off. It's taken by Tyrone Hughes, and he returns to the 23-yard line. 12:46, time remaining, and we'll be back in a moment.
90 Sunkist Fiesta Bowl is brought to you by the Sunkist family of products, where you can be sure of the highest quality every time. You have our word on it. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Ultra Slim Fast. Give us a week. We'll take off the weight.
This is Charlie Jones and Merlin Olsen. We're in Tempe, Arizona, Sun Devil Stadium. The 19th Sunkist Fiesta Bowl. And the Florida State Seminoles leading the Nebraska Cornhuskers 41-10 with 12:46 left to go. And a double reverse. And Tyrone Hughes is dropped by James Chaney. Florida State Seminoles last 9 games. That is to this point in time. They have outscored their opponents 344-107 against 6 defensive teams ranked in the top 8. Now Nebraska's the number 8 team.
The number 8 team, so you get a feeling for the quality and the reason that Bobby Bowden feels that his team deserves to be ranked higher than they are. And you know what? I think we would agree with him.
Yes.
And all who have watched his team perform today would certainly have some evidence.
Earlier we talked to Bobby Bowden about bowl games.
I do not prefer the playoffs. I like the bowls. Now, if they could ever work the playoffs within the bowls, I might be for that, but I don't see how they could ever do that. No, the bowls are American heritage. As long as I can remember football, I remember bowls, and I'm not ready to see that go.
And I think he's making a statement in this bowl game.
Well, listen, if you can play as well in bowl games that Bobby Bowden's teams have played, you might feel that way about bowl games too.
Now, the scoreboard says 4th and 34 on the 47th. Now, perhaps they want to change the scoreboard. That might be the part of the problem. I'm guessing that might be part of the problem.
Calling to adjust the clock. Yes, there's an adjustment going in the clock right now.
Yeah. On that clock, it says 15 minutes. On the master clock, it has 12 minutes and 46 seconds. And it is 2nd down and 13. And while this is being sorted out, let's go down to Jimmy Cephalo.
Charlie, Kevin Grant, number 47, a linebacker for Florida State, is very fortunate. He's got his brother Bobby here. Bobby, a special situation. He's been in the Navy for many years, overseas, has not seen his mother in 13 years, and she's back in Ocala, Florida. Say something to her about it.
I just like to say I love you and I miss you, and I'll see you real soon.
13 years, he's been trying to get enough money to go back to Ocala. Now he's able to do it at least through the television. Gentlemen?
All right, thank you. Nice way to start the decade. Thank you, Jim.
I bet there's all kinds of celebration going on at that house. Not only a great day for Florida State, of course, they'll be rooting for those folks on the far side of the field. And what color is that? It's not crimson, is it, Charlie? That's gold and...
Garnet and gold?
Garnet.
Garnet and gold?
Garnet and gold. Well, it's been a great day for the Garnet and gold.
Yes. And, of course, be sure to stay with us as we'll be going on to the Orange Bowl. Colorado, the Buffalo, against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And they know this statement has been made by Florida State. Look for another great one on NBC. Diving reception by Chris Garrett. And he has it at the 36-yard line. He'll pick up the first down. Leon Fowler had the coverage and a gain of 16. And there is the Orange Bowl, number 1 Colorado against number 4 Notre Dame, coming up as Championship Monday continues on NBC. And we hope you had a chance to see the halftime features that Bob Costas had for you during our ball game, setting up all the action, the 2 team reports. as we'll be going to the Orange Bowl. Right after we're through here, John Bostic pulls it down, and Bill Reagans pulls him down. Oh, yes, we're making the statement. Number 1, yes. Did I see one of the twins in there in that group? I still can't tell them apart.
The Ostazuki
twin, yes.
I'll tell you, it was funny that
Henry and Joe, one had a mustache that he shaved it off, and we had no chance.
I talked to them about being able to pick them apart, and Joe told me, he said, it's easy. He said, Henry's got a mustache. Well, yesterday, Henry shaved off his mustache, and I said, now what do I do? Well, it helps that they wear different numbers, Charlie.
They mark it complete at the 44-yard line. A flag is down. Flag dropped back at the 40. Chip Ball, the senior from Fremont. That's his first reception on the year, I believe. We'll double check this for you.
Team, 5 men lined up in the backfield.
5 in the backfield, so it'll be a race.
Looks like Howard Dinkins. No, it's James Chaney on the ground.
It is Chip Ball's first reception on the season. Let's take another look at it. He could put it on videotape and remember it.
Godowski's high school teammate. Glad to get one.
And you can tell from the background, all of a sudden, Arizona is Seminole country.
Yeah, you can see why when you look at those numbers. And Peter Tom Willis has dominated today.
That number's wrong, too. He's thrown for 5 touchdowns.
5 TDs on the day.
Yeah.
Well, he's thrown them so fast, we've had a hard time keeping up with it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. The computer broke. Dropping Leotis Flowers.
Charlie, when we talked to Mickey Andrews, he said, we've got 2 big men on that line that can dominate, Odell Hagens and Eric Hayes. And they have done that. And very often during the day, they've been matched against the All-Americans. Tank Glazer and Jake Young. They've more than held their own.
Time remaining just over 10 minutes, and it's Florida State 41, Nebraska 10. Godowski pump fake, then he throws, and it's incomplete. He was looking to Tyrone Hughes. Hughes had come back as a flag. Hughes, I believe, had come back to help him, and he really wanted to wave him deep.
I think we're going to get a call against Errol McCorvey on that play. Took a shot at Tyrone Hughes after the ball had gone by him. Doesn't make any sense to do that. Some of the Nebraska players coming out quickly. They were going to take care of things themselves.
The officials from the Southeastern Conference, the referee is Jimmy Harper.
After the play is over, a dead ball, personal foul, 15-yard penalty, defensive team. It'll be an automatic first down, 15 from the previous spot.
Tyrone Hughes had lost his footing a little bit. There's no reason to take this hit. The play is dead. The play is dead.
Oh, there was a little hit on the sideline, too. It could get dangerous over there.
It could get dangerous.
So with the penalty, the ball comes out to the Florida State 48-yard line. First down.
There's still a lot of pride at stake here. Nebraska would like to get a few more points on the board, would like to get something going here. It's been a long, long second half for Tom Osborne and these Huskers.
Nebraska's last score came with just over 12 minutes to go in the first half. A loss of 2 by Godowski. Kurt Carruthers makes the tackle, and we have an injured player.
Eric Hayes again.
All right, let's take a look at all of the bowl scores. Auburn winning. Tennessee winning. Illinois winning. Those were all final. Rose Bowl, Michigan and USC in the third. They're tied at 10. And here with 9:33 and counting time remaining. 41-10. And coming up right after our ball game, Championship Monday continues at the Orange Bowl. Colorado and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
Great catch. What a great catch. Tyrone Hughes again, the receiver on that one.
And he's taking a beating over there.
He
right
sure did.
The
the defender draped all around him on the sideline. Watch this great catch.
Brothers.
That's Kirk Carruthers, who is wrapped around him like a mink coat. But it didn't bother Tyrone Hughes. Carruthers getting a hand up early and getting the top of the helmet. Tyrone Hughes pulling it down.
3rd down and 8. Nobody was there.
I said it early, Charlie, that it's much more difficult to get a team like Nebraska back up to speed after you've stopped. So much of what they do depends on every person on that offensive unit being at full speed. It's like getting a big turbine rolling. And when they get rolling, they grind a lot of people up in the process. When the turbine stops and you've got to restart it, it's hard to get everybody back up to that level of performance. And that was what Tom Osborne was worried about. He was right. It hasn't happened today.
Brad DeVal, the last intended receiver. Mike Stiggy, the kicker. Nobody is back. A bad snap. He still gets it off. Oh, that's an excellent kick. Under adverse circumstances, it'll go inside the 5, all the way down to the 1-yard line. 44 yards under pressure. We'll be back in a moment. In Merlin Olsen, the 19th Sunkist Fiesta Bowl, where we have just over 8 minutes left to go. And Florida State has the ball just outside their own 1-yard line. Officially, they'll call it the 2. Peter Tom Willis with 5 touchdown passes. He had 6 against Memphis State. And on that day, he threw for 482 yards. And the Seminoles want to take a timeout. So we'll join them. We'll have a timeout, and we'll come back in just a moment. To the Sunkist Fiesta Bowl, I'm Charlie Jones with Merlin Olsen. The bowl games, the end of the season, everybody's striving to be number 1 as we take a look here at the play. And it's incomplete. Should number 1 be decided by the bowls, by the regular season, by their opponents, by a playoff system? What are your thoughts?
Well, Charlie, I think if we're going to determine who the best team is at the end of the year, should be more determined by who's playing the best football. And if you do it that way, Florida State better be pretty close to the top of your list. I think that the thing that made Florida State most angry was the fact that people forgot so quickly about that big win they had over Miami. And Miami went back on top of them in the polls shortly.
Here's the draw, and Lee is out to the 5. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Questions about the schedule played by Nebraska this year. Tom Osborne himself, in our conversations with him, said, you know, the jury is still out because a lot of people knocked our schedule. No way that they set an easy schedule for themselves this year. That's just the way it worked out. Some of the teams that they'd scheduled were not playing great football. They had hoped to make a statement today. Unfortunately, not a statement they're going to be very happy with, Charlie.
Not a positive statement.
Not a positive statement.
3rd down and 7.
Does not detract from the quality of their program, however.
And the pass is complete to Shannon Baker. Mike Kroll with the tackle. And the ball goes to the 11-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 1. And the punting team will come out for Florida State. And the return team for Nebraska. Richard Bell and Tyrone Hughes are the 2 return men. And John Wimberly will be kicking. There are Bell and Hughes.
They're calling timeout for Nebraska now. Apparently, Not enough players on the field?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
No, there are 11.
They have 11.
They have 11.
And they call that timeout with 4 seconds on the 25-second clock.
Marvin Sanders is the man who called the timeout. Tom Osborne said, no, we really don't need a timeout right now. What we need to do is get that football, see if we can put a few points on the board. Well, and it looks like we're going to get a new quarterback. Mickey Joseph, sophomore out of Marion, Louisiana.
He has completed 4 out of 12 passes this year. Good kick. Takes a bounce. Hughes has it off of the bounce, and he is swarmed. 41 yards on the kick, and Bill Reagans was down on the coverage. We'll be back in just a moment. Away, Mickey Joseph came in at quarterback. He ran 1 play to the right side for no gain. Godowski came back in, then a pitch to Tyrone Hughes. That took the ball up to the 49-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and 8 right now. Pressure from the backside, and he gets away and throws it. It's caught. Richard Bell, a great reception.
And not a bad pass by Godowski. Godowski had 19 touchdown passes on the year, only 2 interceptions, an amazing percentage. Scrambling to his right. He throws much better going right than he does left. Watch the accuracy of this pass and the excellent catch you talked about.
23 yards on the play. Godowski intercepted once in this ball game. He's got changes in his offensive line. Boerboom, Shields, Edeel, O'Gara, and Ingstrom from tackle to tackle.
Tom Osborne wanting to get a lot of the troops into this ball game, give them a taste of the bowl experience. I think we'll see a lot of faces before the day is over now.
First down at the 28.
And back pass.
And it is incomplete.
John Bostic running cross field, was not even looking back at his quarterback, and Godowski went down hard.
And Terry Rogers is in the ball game. He was also down. Let's take another look.
Charlie, this is that hand back pass, specially developed for today, but it's so difficult to fool people when they know you're in trouble and you have to throw the football. They know the running game is not real. Godowski went down hard on that play.
And that was Joe Ostazuski who was putting the pressure on the quarterback. 2nd down.
Mickey Joseph back in the ball game now as Godowski goes to the sideline. He is quick. Very, very quick feet.
Only for a yard, and Dinkins gets it. But boy, he does have quick movements, doesn't he?
Would be a shame to let Jerry Godowski get out of here today without talking about a couple of the things he did during this season, Charlie. His 177.3 rating as a quarterback was higher than Jim McMahon's NCAA record of 1980, 176.9. But he only averaged 12.5 passes a game. Had he had 15 passes a game, he would have set a new single-season rating record.
Also, he is an academic All-American. Incomplete. John Bostic, the intended receiver.
Bostic, the Washington Prep Player of the Year from out there in Bellevue, Washington. Charlie, one of the things I think that hurts Nebraska, the fact that they play all of their games on artificial turf. This is the only game they have played all year on natural turf. Last year, the only game they played on natural turf, UCLA. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it certainly is not going to make you more comfortable.
Flags are down, and the pass is incomplete. Hughes, the intended receiver.
I think we're going to have an offside call against Florida State, trying to guess on the snap count. They got up inside.
And we're inside of 4 minutes, 3:48, time remaining. Nebraska scored a touchdown on their first possession. They had a punt Ruski in the middle of it. And then this is their 13th straight possession.
Violation neutral zone, defensive team. Be 4th down, replay the down.
This is their 13th straight possession since then without a touchdown. They did pick up a field goal. The Seminoles have controlled both sides of the football.
Chance.
Eric Hayes.
I talked to Eric Hayes yesterday. We talked about his nickname, Billy E. I said, where did that came from? Where did that come from? He said, Deion Sanders gave it to me in a high school All-American game. I said, what does it mean? He said, I can't tell you that. Well, he has been a big player today. And it really dominated.
Don't forget, Championship Monday continues. The Orange Bowl, as soon as we're through here, we'll be going down to the Federal Express Orange Bowl, Notre Dame in Colorado. We have a change of quarterback. Casey Weldon of Tallahassee, a sophomore, is now the quarterback. And Paul Moore is the carrier. And if dropped by Kent Wells.
Charlie, you think you're going to get a break when the second quarterback comes in there. The longest touchdown pass of the year by Florida State, not by Peter Tom Willis, an 88-yard pass by Casey Weldon. So he can throw it too.
But let's not go away without looking at the final numbers of Peter Tom Willis. We'll do that right after this play. And amply, and the numbers of Peter Tom Willis. 25 of 39, Fiesta Bowl record 423 yards, Fiesta Bowl record 5 touchdowns, and notice, no interception. And that's 25 touchdowns on the season and a total of only 9 interceptions on the season. I'll vote for my most valuable player. Will you join me?
I don't think there's even a contest.
That's right. It's unanimous. Casey Weldon. And it's incomplete. And all of the people involved in our telecast, from executive producer Terry O'Neill, coordinating producer Ted Nathanson, today's Fiesta Bowl produced by Larry Cirillo, directed by Richard Klein, George Finkel, our replay director, Mike Stramiski, our technical director, David Banks, our associate director, Carol Larson, our production associate, Bill Pernello, our technical manager, our production managers, Chuck Bond, Carl Geller, Ralph McFarland, Lisa Stock, and blocked. And Nebraska falls to the ball.
Unblocked by number 88.
Fran Bellini and Ellis Tooney are our stage manager, and Dennis Medition, our outstanding statistician.
Charlie, if you're from Nebraska, you say, we can't even get this right. We get a block and we can't get it into the end zone. It looked like it would be picked up and carried in for a touchdown, but they couldn't get the handle on it.
And this is all the people that made it fun and possible to start a new decade here on NBC. Chris Anderson and Brian Mand, our spotters. And Nebraska with an opportunity to end on a high note as Terry Rogers carries, and even more of our technical support. And as you can tell, it takes so many people to make all of it happen. And we have a crew waiting for you at the Orange Bowl in Miami that are just a minute 57 away. They're getting anxious to get going down there. So be sure to stay with us, because Florida State has certainly made a statement here today.
They really have. Be very proud of what they've done on the field. It would appear that Mike Kroll, the man to block that kick, Charlie. He's had a big day today.
And at the top of the telecast, one of the things we talked about, these are two outstanding football teams, two great programs.
It's a shame someone has to lose in a game like this. It'll be taken hard by that man, but his consistency, he'll never let his emotions take over in a situation like this. He said that this team had been one that he'd been extremely proud of, had come as close to living up to his expectations and their potential as any he's ever coached. Unfortunately, they weren't able to finish out on the high notes that they had set during this great season.
And Terry Rogers is stopped short. Oliver Strickland is there.
You'd like to see him get it into the end zone,
Yes,
put a
you
few
would.
more points up.
You would, yes.
A hard game for seniors, a last game for seniors, and there are a lot of them on the field. A much happier game for Florida State seniors. And there are 14 starters who will not be with the Seminoles next year.
Mickey Joseph, does he make it? Yes, he does. From 2 yards out.
A nice shot of Leroy Butler congratulating Mickey Joseph. Fake inside, nobody home. Young quarterbacks with good feet, good legs, like to run the football. Boy, he does a good job outrunning Kirk Carruthers to the corner.
And watch it. And one of the officials, too.
Exactly. Better get out of the road. You don't want to get cut down.
Greg Barrios with Jerry Dunlap holding. Perfect snap by Roger Biskey. 41-17 with 1:16 left to go.
Got to be the longest fourth quarter of the year, maybe of all time for these Nebraska players.
Who do you like in the Orange Bowl? Notre Dame. I know. I just thought of that. Oh, I'm thinking. You know, that's.
I'll tell you,
that could really be an
Charlie. I would love to have been in the Colorado situation if Notre Dame had still been #1. They were trying to take it away from them.
Yes.
I think it's harder to maintain a championship than it is to take one away from someone. I think it's nice to be motivated by that. We've got to get them emotionally, and that's the difference in the game. Easier to go after someone. It's been an emotional day for those gentlemen right there. Peter Tom Willis.
And they have made a statement that we're #1.
Well, and you've got to love what they've been able to do today. Bobby Bowden saying, let's not get penalized now, moving his troops back along the sideline.
Would you venture an onside kick here?
Why not?
Has to go 10 yards.
They got it. They've got it.
Did it go 10 yards or was it touched by a return man?
They're saying it was touched by one of the return people, and I think it was.
Travis Hill was there for Nebraska.
It looked like Reggie Johnson, number 80, that may have touched that ball for Florida State, but one of the Florida State players had his hands on it. Let's watch the play. Just a little roller right down in front. No, it's 22 that gets his hands on it initially.
Edgar Bennett.
Edgar Bennett, fullback.
Nebraska.
Reggie Johnson, one of the players that tried to jump over there and recover it.
Nebraska at their own 43 with 1:14. And Florida State is going to take a timeout. And let's go back to the onside kick. You know the rule. It has to go 10 yards or be touched by one of the return team.
It is short of the 10 yards, but there is the touching right there by Edgar Bennett, number 22.
And Travis Hill, the freshman from Pearland, Texas.
Backup linebacker.
Fourth quarter in the Rose Bowl. The score still tied, Michigan and USC at 10.
Now, if Michigan loses, Miami loses. How many people have to lose for Florida State to get that #1 spot?
More than possible.
More than there are possible. Well, I think maybe you're right.
Mickey Joseph turns, fires, is there. He goes to John Bostic at the 45-yard line. The clock is stopped for the first down, moving the chains. Terrell Buckley making the tackle.
What's up, Norman?
Still over just a minute to go. The ball at the Florida State 45-yard line. Rogers spinning his way to the 42. Terry Rogers from National City, California, junior, son of the Heisman Trophy winner. Yes.
Charlie, I think it would be right for us to take a moment to thank Pep Cooney and all of the Fiesta Bowl committee for their hospitality during this week. We've enjoyed the great festivities of this game, being a part of the action, being with these two teams, their fine academic people as well as their athletic people.
And of course, Bruce Skinner, the executive director of the Sunkist Fiesta Bowl. Mickey Joseph stopped by Kurt Carruthers.
And it might be a good idea, since it is the first day of the year, to wish everyone out there a most happy and prosperous beginning to this decade of the 90s. It's been a delightful time we've had this year.
Yes.
And it's not over yet. More football coming.
It is incomplete, stopping the clock with 8 seconds.
We have an offsides call against Florida State. Delay the play slightly. Eric Hayes, I think, a little eager.
Meanwhile, all is in readiness at the Orange Bowl. Colorado and
so hard waiting.
Oh,
defensive team, violation, neutral zone, 5-yard penalty.
And Championship Monday will continue. We're only seconds away from Colorado and Notre Dame. The Buffaloes and the Fighting Irish, Dick Enberg and Bill Walsh are there. The pass is incomplete, and the game is over. Bostic, the intended receiver. At the end of the first quarter, Nebraska led 7-0. Florida State led at halftime 21-10, and then 41-10 after 3, and the final is 41-17. Florida State downing Nebraska in this, the 19th Sunkist Fiesta Bowl.
A record setter, Peter Tom Willis, whose dream of playing professional football, I think, will become a reality. He's shown those special skills today.
He completed 25 of 39. He threw for a record 423 yards, and also he completed a record 5 touchdown passes.
Florida State laying claim to at least the unofficial title. They said we're playing the best football in the country right now. And they've gone out on the field today, and I think they may have proved it.